this exciting episode of the Choco-Bros podcast, where we will be talking all the spoilers, all of them, with some special guests being Orpheus Joshua, who's been on many episodes. Hi. And Lucian Graves making his first appearance.
Hello.
And there's also Espy. He's here, I guess.
That's mean. I was thinking of what I wanted to yell,
Wow.
but I decided not to.
He didn't say anything. I cannot believe him.
I was gonna do the Jack Garland theme song, and I decided maybe I won't do that. It'll find its way in this episode.
Will it?
Whoop! That's it. Just the first note.
Are you okay?
I'm good, thank you. Just excited.
Okay, well, I have something special for us. So I said, Sorrels, if you can tell, is not here. Sorrels. So what we talked about is he has recorded a message for us. And so I haven't listened to it yet.
Oh no.
We're all going to listen to it together. I've just shared my screen on Discord.
Okay.
Okay.
Is it a video? Oh no, it's just audio. Okay.
It is audio.
Wow, it's really long.
It is.
It's 4 minutes
Oh,
long.
Oh
okay.
my god.
I'm scared. I have not listened to this.
Okay.
I would like to start or preemptively state this was recorded when originally we were supposed to have Sean AFK on the podcast. He'll be here on the podcast at some point, just not for this. So if he mentions anything about that, that's why. Okay. 3, 2, 1, play.
Hey guys, Charles Barkley
voice
here.
is so
I'm
sultry.
just coming to you because you guys are here for the Spoilercast, and I know that this is going to be at the forefront because big news. I just had to get this off my chest. I know you didn't hear me in the last one, and I know that
Oh Lord.
I'm not present on this
Oh,
one, and
God.
it's because I'm stepping down from the
No,
Choco-Bros. I've talked with multiple people, you know, they've told me that this is probably the best thing for me. I'm definitely the weakest link here because I know nothing about Final Fantasy.
That's why it's good.
What am I to think about Final Fantasy 16? I know that all the stories go in order, and I'm only at 3. How am I supposed to know what's happening in 16? Because the stories, you know, I'm 15 games or 14. I can't do math. I'm so behind. So I just want you to know, and I know that the guests are probably going to be Sean and OJ. So
Yep.
just I know I've talked to this multiple times with Sean AFK.
Oh.
He's going to take my place
no, he's
for the
not.
Choco-Bros.
Wow.
Swirls Barkley.
This age like
Not
You guys
this
will get
week,
better
though.
content week in and week out with that change. So for the last time, I'm signing out. Swirls Barkley. Have a great rest of your pod. Bye.
What's...
I'm just
He
messing
got
with you.
you.
all. No, I truthfully, work got crazy, real life got crazy, and well, I don't have a PS5, and someone decided at Square Enix to make this just for the PS5. Final Fantasy 16. You can only play it on a PS5. I'm not gonna buy no PS5 anytime soon.
Don't believe him.
Never. Truthfully, never going to buy a PS5.
Bullshit.
So don't worry, I'll be back. I'll be back better than ever. And I promise that whenever they port this game in 15 years, I'll play it. But until that day comes, I'm going to try and remain as spoiler-free as I can. I've watched a little bit of the demo with Sean AFK. Make certain you go follow him on Twitter and
should do
everything else. Twitch mainly, Sean_AFK. Twitch, Sean_AFK. That's the homie right there. But I really, really think that this game would be better if they just allowed me to play it right now. But you know what? I promise. Once it's ported, I'll sit down and probably be backseated by Agr0 and by Espy. They'll be right there with me as I walk through the adventures of Clive and all the craziness. But until that day comes, enjoy the rest of this podcast where the bros are probably going to rank this game way too high and think that it's the best game ever. I'm calling it now. I haven't talked to the bros since this game came out. Agr0's probably gonna say it's like third best game ever.
No, he's got it
Espy's
right.
probably drooling still from how much he loves the game and is in shock, awe, and wonder.
Dude, he really nailed you with the fucking favorite
until
game.
then,
He got your number.
You'll probably hear me on the next pod where we tackle FF4. But
True.
I know that we hope to start hitting this a little bit harder with all these single-digit, Final Fantasy games to where we're actually at least a 7 by the time that Rebirth comes out, so we can get through all that fun stuff.
Ooh.
So, y'all have a good rest of the pod. Strap in, because it's probably going to be a long one. Probably not 3 hours long, but, strap in, because it's probably going to be 5 hours long. Knowing Agr0, he's probably going to ramble about something small, minute, and it's going to be amazing. I'm going to love every second of it whenever I'm listening to it in 15 years.
Do well.
So, y'all have a, great rest of the pod, and I will talk to y'all again soon. I promise.
Well, thank you, Swirls,
what a lovely guy.
for that message.
Swirls, do not let Agr0 backseat you on a DMC game. He will ruin it. He will ruin it.
No, that's not true.
Do not let him watch you play.
Agr0 told me
No.
Devil May Cry 2 is the best in the series.
He told me it was
possibly.
DMC.
Yeah,
The
I heard the
DMC.
first two are the best.
Mm-hmm.
I'm making a
real
joke.
quick, switch to recording channel on Discord.
Okay. Is our audio from his clip gonna be in there?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We'll cut back now. Well, that was a little bit right and close to. He predicted some things correctly and some things wrong. Lucian's name is actually Sean.
Yes.
You just didn't know.
Thank you for joining us, Sean.
Oh.
Yeah, anytime.
So I figured we'll
I'm the newest
go
bro.
around.
Sean.
Yes. The replacement. I figured we go around and introduce our talk about our experience with the game. Like how much did you play? Like what did you do all the side quests? Did you do the hard mode? Yada yada, so on and so forth. Figure we'll start with Espy
Oh, okay.
since he did the least.
So I started with the side, like I was doing side quests. I beat the game. Everybody who's beat the game, because if you're here and
Of
you
course.
haven't beat the game,
Yeah, leave.
Massive
might wanna-
spoilers.
yeah, you might want to. Yeah, we're talking. Nothing is off the table. So
Even
I
16-2.
yeah, even 16-2 and Final Fantasy 17, the cross between 10 and 7. We'll talk about that.
And 16.3 Joshua returns.
Yes, the famous Phoenix trilogy. I beat the game. I opted to do the side quests on my second playthrough because I just wanted to know what happened, and Iron Agr0 did not like that answer. So I've beaten the game. I'm working on my Final Fantasy mode playthrough right now. I think the game was great. I'm excited to take it, a little bit slower this time and play exclusively with headphones when nobody can bother me, so that I can just get lost in Valisthea.
I did the whole game through, and I did every single side quest and every single hunt, but I have barely touched the Chronolith Trials. I haven't beat a single one, and I haven't started Final Fantasy mode yet. The most I've done after beating the game is I've attempted to do a couple fights without getting hit, and it has not been going great. But other than that, the main game, I did pretty much everything. What about you, Lucian?
Yeah, no, I mean, same as you, where I did all the side quests, all the main, obviously. Where we diverge is that I did do all of the Chronolith Trials because I wanted to get that obtain all curiosities trophy. And I was like, how do I get the last curiosity? Oh, I do all the trials? Okay. So I did them all. I have not started a second playthrough yet. I might do one in the future, but I think I'll take a break first and go back to it on Final Fantasy mode and maybe platinum the game, but we'll see. But yeah.
And then we have the hero, Orpheus Joshua. The first person in the world to platinum Final Fantasy 16, except maybe some Australian guy, but ignore him. He's not real.
Yeah, so I got it pre-release. I did the 2 playthroughs for the plat.
Go to read Orpheus Joshua's review on noisypixel.com.
I did review it, yeah.
What type of score did you give it?
Give it a 9 out of 10.
Wow, wait, that's a big
so
number.
low. Get off this podcast.
Okay.
But I have no format for the rest of the show,
It just
which might have been a mistake, but I think we'll figure it out. I was thinking earlier of how we'll split it up in Choco-Bros, like when we, go through and do multiple podcasts about it. So maybe we can do that. We did a whole podcast on the demo, so I don't think we need to talk too much about that, but did you two play the demo even?
YouTube.
OJ didn't have to.
Lucian and Orpheus Joshua?
I mean,
Joshua played the demo.
I know what the
And
demo
Logan.
has, but I didn't play the. I didn't play the.
No,
demo.
I assumed, yeah. Lucian, did you?
I played it the day of release, so I played it
okay.
I don't know, 5 hours or something before the game came out,
Mm-hmm.
and then killed time and twiddled my thumbs until midnight.
Pretty much what I did, except instead of doing that, I played the demo over and over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how you can play it. I played the demo. Day the demo came out, I played it.
Mm-hmm.
I loved it. I did not touch it again until like 10 o'clock the day before 16 came out. But I don't know how you can just like over and over and over and over run through it. I get like exhausted.
It was fun.
I mean, I'm sure it would have been fun, but I would have been like, I would be, Ifrit, come to me. I'll kill you. I'll fucking kill you. Like, I'd be like, it's so monotone. Just
Well, I didn't play through the main part of the demo until a second time until 2 hours before the game came out. I played through the Icon trial or whatever it was.
Oh, okay. That's a little bit
the
different.
Benedicta level.
Yeah.
Benedicta.
I played through that over and over again.
And for context, Agr0, how many times did you play the DMC5 demo? before that came out?
104.
Jesus
Exactly.
Christ.
So
Why
that's
do
the
you-
type of person we're dealing with here.
Why do you know the exact, why do you know exactly 104? Were you counting?
Well, because I got to 10, and then I was like, I should keep track. I should keep track of how many times I do this.
And
The
now
demo was
we know
roughly
how
15 to
absurd
20 minutes
he
long.
is.
15
That's
to
how
20
I got
minutes.
to be good at the game. Well, if you skip cutscenes, 15 to 20 minutes.
Okay.
And we're, good. The first time through was probably closer to a half hour, 40 minutes. But
Were you good? Are you good?
after playing the demo 100 times, I'm pretty good.
You better be at that point, right?
I would say I'm at a decent skill level. Not good,
Okay.
but okay.
You beat the game.
Mm-hmm. Many
Then
times.
there you go. Many times. 104 times he also beat the game.
No. But yeah, we did a whole podcast on the demo, so I don't think we need to go over
Hash it
that
out.
too much. But after the demo, we start off with, we meet Sid and get the dog, and Jill's there. What do we like? What everyone think of the intro section of the game? Like before we went off and Jill and Clive got his main outfit and stuff.
So, as soon as let me figure out how I want to say. So I didn't know who any of the dominants were as humans. I didn't know that Garuda was Benedicta. I didn't know that Shiva was Jill. I didn't know any of that. So when after the intro scene and you're walking by and you see all the ice and stuff, I was like, how crazy would it be if it was Jill? And then sure as shit, there's a beautiful gray-haired lady walking, and I'm like, oh my fucking god. So just right there, I was like, I have no idea what this game is gonna do. Because everything's on the table. So when you're walking up and you see Jill, and then I was waiting for the moment where Clive was like, I can't do it, and then what comes after that, I wasn't also expecting. Killing his commander and blah blah blah. So what was the question?
What did you think of the start of the game?
Good.
After the demo?
Good. Me likey.
This is gonna be a short podcast, guys.
I'm not carrying the weight here. I can't.
Mm-hmm.
No, yeah. I think it was really good, you know, like it's hard for me to separate the demo from the main game because I played them so close to each other. But you know, having played them so close to each other, obviously, you know, it leads in very well. And funny enough, you picked up right away that it was Jill. It took me a bit. Like, I didn't think right away, oh, that's Jill. You know? It took me a little bit to piece things together, but I think in that whole first, like, third, like that, you know, I guess prologue almost, the most helpful thing to me, I used that ATL system so much.
Oh
I was
my
like,
gosh, yeah.
I was like, what is this country? Who is this person? What is a dominant? What is a bearer? Like, what is branded? Like, what do these words mean? Where is this country? And, you know, every cutscene, I was holding down the touchpad.
Dude, I love it.
Dude,
I think that
It's so good.
that might have been the best thing they could have done for this game. Because I was telling Agr0 and Lucian earlier, I play a video game and I'm like, wow, that was a really great video game. What happened in it? What was the name of the video game? So being able to like read like everything like as it comes up, like I in my playthrough right now, I was reading something about Benedicta and I was like, oh, I didn't even realize that was like implied because again, I miss everything, but it's nice having those lore markers there. You don't have to like go through like YouTube or Reddit trying to find somebody talking about it. It's all there in the game. So,
Yeah.
very helpful.
They did a great job with, like, the ATL system and then later on the Vivian, like, connection stuff. Like,
Oh yeah.
the lore that is accessible to the player in game with ease is so cool. And obviously, like, Harpocrates, you know, it just, I was really impressed by all of that, and it made the game at the beginning much more easy to dive into for me, you know, because when you have this sort of epic story, it can be really hard to understand. You know, you have all of these different nations, they have their different views on dominance and bearers and magic and a very complex world, and how is the player meant to understand this right away? Because we're cutting from place to place.
I ended up not using it too much, probably due to the fact of like you two went, wow, I wonder if that's Jill. And I went, I've known that's Jill for 2.5 years. Just factually.
Yeah, I didn't watch any trailers aside from the PS5 announcement trailer of the game.
Yeah, I saw, oh my god, they're doing Final Fantasy 16, and then I went radio silent because I did not want anything even remotely, not spoilery, because, I mean, I guess Square is kind of known for spoiling some stuff, but I didn't want to know anything going into it. I didn't want to know, like, oh, I can expect this, or like, oh, I know this character is going to be alive because X, Y, Z. So, yeah, I avoided them also for that reason.
And then on the other hand, you have me and OJ who watched every single trailer and spent like 2 hours after the state of play came out, frame by frame, analyzing it.
We did do that.
Very good. It was a very fun time. We learned some things ahead of time, like Clive and Joshua's mom being evil.
Yeah.
That
She was evil
that-
from the demo.
Well, the thing is, we didn't know that. The only bit of footage we got of their mom, or any info of their mom we got, was the very first trailer, which is that one scene for the demo where she comes to take away Joshua from the stables, and then in the state of play, they showed off the lore thing, like the
ATL.
not the relationship chart, but the other one.
The world map thing?
Yeah, the world map thing, like the political relationship chart.
Yeah.
And that one had a thing about their mom, which is basically all we had pre-release.
Huh.
I guess except for the demo, but you know.
Did you use ATL at all, OJ?
I use it, like, not all the time, but, like, usually, I mainly use it in, like, the second half, where it felt where, like, they went a lot more into the geography.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was a little... Because it's kind of hard to follow if you don't really know what the world's like.
Yeah.
The first half I think is pretty good. Like for the first half, you don't really need to know much.
No, they're definitely purposely vague on certain things in the first, like, in pre-time skip.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Also, like, once I saw it, I was like, whoa, this is here? And so every cutscene, I just held down the touchpad and read every single lore entry, and it's like, oh, cool.
I feel now is a good time to bring up the story Sean has told us of, he decided to look up, look at the lore thing when, the blue guys with Scythe, like the Lich enemy came up.
Mm-hmm.
In which it mentioned, this thing is a servant of Ultima. Hours before Ultima was introduced.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. That's crazy.
So,
They really never reference... Ultima's never referenced before. I guess, yeah, Phoenix Gate is where you fight that the first time, huh?
Maybe they patched that out. I kind of wonder if they did.
That'd be nice. I hope they do.
Because those have evolving entries.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy that mentions it before Ultima.
Well,
those are pretty fleshed out.
Yeah, it's weird.
I believe it. I'm just
maybe
saying
it
that seems like an
updates
oversight.
at some point later, like after that. But I don't know because I didn't even think to look it up. Right.
I think I was talking to Sean earlier. I think it was Sean. It might have been somebody here. I'm just stupid. But we were talking where you can go back to lore, like ATL lore entries like that, and it'll have more information. We were talking about Tyler and how and Murdoch and how so Murdoch, he's dead the whole time after Phoenix Gate, but like if you go look at his relationship thing, it doesn't show he's dead until Clive is told he's dead.
Yeah.
So up until it's what I mean. It's like it may be one of those things where like. It got updated, and if you go back to one of the older lore markers, information that wasn't there about Ultima is there now because...
Well, Sean was saying he specifically got spoiled on it the antagonist being Ultima because of that.
Like, through that, yeah.
Yes,
okay.
he found out about Ultima beforehand.
Okay, yeah, so ignore me that I'm stupid and I'm stinky.
No.
Because, if you go to Harpocrates, I have the game open right now, there's, the mother crystals, and there's basic information... their tax on the land and their true purpose. So there's 3 phases of information that you unlock over time, and it will track it and, sort of label it so that you as the player can understand, okay, yeah, this is what I knew at the start. Yeah, this is when I was learning a little bit more, and this is what I know now at the end of the game. Which is really cool. I mean, so much work went into this whole lore system.
It's crazy.
It's crazy.
They're trying to implement something kind of similar in 14, but it's bad, and they're only doing it now, post-Endwalker.
That's hard.
It's not even that they're adding it retroactively in. There's a quest right after, the first post-Endwalker quest is you going to talk to a character who gives you a journal. And it's wow, you can keep track of things in this journal. 500 plus hours into this game.
Wait, so they're not... Are they adding stuff from, Stormblood and stuff, or...
Yes, you get
okay.
They add things about races and stuff, and the peoples and places as you go to them in the post-patches of Endwalker.
I thought you meant, moving forward, we're keeping track of everything. If you didn't play Stormblood or Heaven's Ward, watch a YouTube video or something.
Yes, actually. They're not, recapping the story. It's more
terms?
No, yeah, the ATL.
What is this race of people? What is it? Where do they come from? What are they?
Where did they go?
What do they do? Where do they go?
Where did they come from?
That's a good question.
Cotton Eye Joe.
He's not in 14, sadly.
Unless
you name your character that.
Or oh no, I think it's World of Warcraft that has Sora, Riku, and Kairi on a boat or something.
What?
I'll find it for you later. There's an Easter egg in World of Warcraft where there are 3 characters who very obviously are meant to look like Sora, Kairi, and Riku.
What?
Wow. Okay. I'll believe you. That's the first time I've ever heard somebody say Sora, Kairi, and Riku in that order.
I'm looking. Sora, what do you say? Oh yeah. Yeah. Here, I'm trying to find a good. I mean, I'll just post it in our Discord. This isn't relevant to the podcast, but yeah.
Well, it's relevant now.
Here, I'll just post a random picture in our Discord of it. Now
we all know.
So yeah, so this is in World of Warcraft. I can't find the one with Riku, but that's in World of Warcraft. It's very. Oh yeah,
Oh.
Riku's right there behind them.
Oh,
It's very
Yeah.
obviously meant to be.
Yeah, that's
I wonder
That
if he
is
has clown
true.
shoes on.
well. This has to be the thumbnail for this Spoilercast 16.
FF16 spoiler cast.
Featuring Sora, Riku, and Kairi.
Oh,
That's fun.
but yeah, we at the beginning of the game we meet the whole gang. We get to explore the original hideaway. Go to beat fight Benedicta and
Yeah,
all
that was
and all
cool.
that jazz. We get the this game is very much like divided into arcs, and like there is the the intro, the Benedicta arc, then the I don't know, the
Benedicta
Clive
arc-
and Jill hanging out arc.
Yeah. How far would you say the Benedicta arc goes? Because that kind of
Well, till Benedicta
When she
dies.
dies.
Wait, she dies?
Till they kill off Benedicta very early into the game. That is probably when I'd say
A
that ends.
disservice.
Well, I was just asking because like her death, I guess, is like the spark
mean,
for
like-
Kupka's whole thing too.
Yeah,
you
but
know?
his
I
thing's
mean-
way later.
Is it? I mean, it leads to the destruction
Well-
of the hideaway.
I guess it does, but I guess the
Actually,
focus,
you're right because
the
it
focal
happens
point of the game.
as like that happens when you're away from the hideaway, taking out the
Mhm.
crystal. So you're right.
Yeah, doing
actually.
other stuff.
Yeah, you're right. You're
They're,
right.
like the focal point is very arc based.
Mm-hmm.
And starting with the Benedicta arc. What did we all think of Benedicta?
She was robbed. I think I was really hoping Benedicta got some sort of redemption arc where she was like,
Yeah.
maybe I'm a fucking bitch. Maybe I should be good. But she's not. She was killed prematurely. I think she served her purpose, like what they were
Mhm.
going for, but I really wanted her to have more time.
Yeah, that's for me with watching all the marketing. She's the one character that we got almost every scene she's in the
Is that a
marketing.
shame?
Oh, really? Damn.
Yeah, almost every single scene, outside of 2 or 3, and it I went through that, and I like what they do, but I wish they had done more. I guess I had higher expectations.
Yeah, I wish she stuck around, but then when I think about it, it's almost every icon that Clive got, he got when they died. So
Mhm.
I guess no, not really. I mean, because Benedicta didn't die when he got her power. Sid
Yeah.
did. What's after Sid? After Sid's Titan. Titan died.
Not then
Well,
though.
not from the
None of them
when
died
Titan-
from that. Yeah.
No, not died from it, but shortly after they died. No, yeah, because he got Titan's power, and then he gets saved,
Right.
and then you fight him later.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit! So ignore me, yeah, because Bahamut doesn't die when you get him. Jill
Yeah.
just gives you her power. I guess Odin. Odin
Yeah.
dies.
And even that's
Okay.
part of the plan in a way, you know.
Yeah. So never mind. Ignore me. Yeah. No. I just wanted some more time with Benedict. I think she had a lot more going for her character that we could have explored.
Mhm.
And I think her and Sid. Imagine if Benedicta was alive still when Sid died. How that.
Yeah.
That spiral could have been right.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
And then she goes to Barnabas. Why are you so Scottish accent? Why are you so
What?
blatant? I don't know. He has a little bit of a Scottish accent. But he's like, why are you so upset about Sid? You're
Barnabas
mine.
does not have a Scottish accent. What are you
I know
talking
it's
about?
Scottish. Yeah, he does.
That is not Scottish at all.
Scots like.
No, I would say that's closer to Spain accent. That is
I'm
not
looking it up.
at all Scottish.
I also thought Scottish,
Me too.
but
These
I am a dumb
non-Scottish
American.
people, crazy. I am a half Scot. I definitely am close to my roots and definitely don't know any. I definitely don't know more than nothing about Scotland. It's a place, I'm sure.
Nah, you're wrong. He's Scottish.
That's insane.
yeah.
But beyond the point.
Anyway.
Yeah.
I
I
yeah,
thought Benedict was a very good introductory villain.
I'll give you that.
I just did not
I agree.
expect her to be a introductory villain.
Guess that's fair. Yeah, if you saw so much of her and all the marketing and whatnot.
Mm-hmm. Well, they have all the dominance like very equal in marketing outside of Clive, who's obviously more important.
Yeah.
So it was odd. Like they have all when I went to the pre-launch event, they had huge banners of all of them, and there was Benedicta up with right next to Dion and Joshua.
Oh, I'm sorry, Dion.
Yes.
Dion.
Dion.
Dion
That's what I said.
Dion. I'm probably
Whatever,
wrong,
it
but
doesn't
I don't
matter.
care.
I'm gonna steal your Torgal pin.
I forgot I had that.
Yeah, and I want it. You see, I wouldn't forget. I'd be looking at it right now. Anyway.
But what do we think of? I figured we'll go through.
Wait, OJ.
Oh.
Did you like Benedicta? What did you think?
She's like, she's probably, I think, the weakest main character of the game. I don't think that's a hot take.
Hugo though.
So like,
Dude.
We'll get into him, I'm sure, but like, his problems are rooted in her.
That's fair.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay.
So like with Benedicta, it's like, I don't like how she went out. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Like, to me, because with all the dominance, I feel like they all get like a pretty good amount of focus, like except for her.
Mm-hmm.
Like with
that's fair.
With Hugo, with fucking Barnabas, with fucking Jill and Joshua, like they all get like a good chunk of focus, but she just kind of like is gone at the very beginning.
Definitely a side effect of her being first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
and like diving into her backstory and stuff, it was there, and like in her actions too. Like the seducing Kupka, and also maybe the king, while still having feelings for Sid.
She definitely
there was
thought
an
she was manipulating Barnabas.
Right, but that's the point. Is like there was an interesting idea there, but she died before it was able to be capitalized on.
And I definitely think there's like, I think they're trying to go for a parallel from like with Benedicta and Clive of like specifically from Sid's POV. Like, he couldn't save Benedicta from herself.
I guess that's fair. It's meant to set up the.
I don't think it's done well, but I think they are trying to go for a parallel between Benedicta and Clive for Sid, and I don't think it works particularly well, or it's strong enough to like. I'm guessing that's what they're going for. I don't think it's really there, like super strongly, but.
Before we move on from Benedicta, obviously, after her death, Koopa gets sent her head in a box. Sid would not cut off her head and send it in a box.
No.
So, does Barnabas just get her body somehow and then cut off the head, send it to Kupka to like incite that whole thing between Sid and Kupka?
See, okay, I assumed that immediately, like frame one.
Yeah, well,
I've heard
right
other
away
people
I was like, why?
Not know the whole game.
I was like, why would Sid do that? Like, Sid respected her. Sid, wanted to help her. I don't think he'd cut off her head, But it was it was never like
Hugo.
Explicit or anything, And he knows that would piss him off and send him after his family and everything he's, protected. So, I don't know. It was always just in the back of my mind as like a pretty obvious thing, but I wanted to make sure I wasn't crazy.
No, to me, it was immediate frame one of, it was Barnabas.
Right.
Like, it didn't make any sense for it to be anyone else. Like, the only person it could have been in was someone from the Empire, but we knew nothing about the Empire at that point in the game. And whereas we knew a tiny little bit about Barnabas, and specifically that he didn't actually care about Benedicta. So he was the only one that made sense to me. What about you, SB?
What?
Yes. That's a good answer.
Thank you.
Who did you think sent the head in the box?
I have no idea. Like, it just...
I don't think it matters.
I mean, my guess was Barnabas.
Now it's 100% Barnabas. There's like with the knowledge we have now, it couldn't have been anyone else.
At the time,
I mean,
at the time I wasn't sure, because like it wasn't Sid, because I don't think Sid has it in him to like cut off her head to make Hugo mad. To no, he was alive. No, wait. Yes, no, he was dead. I don't know.
Sid was still alive when.
Yeah, Sid was still alive, but when he went to the hideout, Sid was dead. Because he died in between.
Yes,
right?
Mm-hmm. Right. He attacked the hideout when they were attacking the crystal.
I actually had no idea, like, because I wasn't aware of Barnabas. So I was like, maybe it's.
But you were aware of Barnabas though.
But not like aware, like. Again, you have to remember, it's hard for me to understand things in games.
Okay.
So like, I didn't think Barnabas would like do that, but. Now, obviously, yeah, it was totally Barnabas trying to keep Clive on the trail. At the time, I did not know. I was like, oh, this is going to be an interesting that they're going to explain. I wonder who it was. Like, I thought we would get a scene of like, and now I'm going to send this to Hugo via Amazon Prime 2-day shipping. And, it's never explicitly said.
No, they never explicitly state that, and I think they know with, like, the knowledge we have later and later in the game, they don't need to. But
yeah, you can easily figure it out.
But after the Benedicta arc, we have the how to put this, Clive living with himself and Jill's there arc.
Yeah.
You gotta explore around Martha's Rest, our first like open zone area. Get our first side quests, which are not very good at first.
No.
I was trying to think about it earlier, like, what were the worst side quests? And then I thought about the ones near the very beginning, and realized I don't remember any of them.
Yeah, it's all the ones, like, right... It's when you are still, like, a branded, like, in Rosaria. Those ones are pretty rough.
I think those quests are why I decided to hold off.
Yeah, the second half, they're all story relevant and great, but... So
the first half, it was like, wow, like, these are a little bit of world building, but, like, this isn't that interesting, so, like, I'll just do them on my second playthrough. And then, by the time Agr0 was like, no, you need to do them, like, I had gotten locked out of some. Like, there's some at the end I didn't get because I missed out on some of the early ones. It's like, how am I supposed to be meant to do side quests and, like, care about them when... I guess, like, the whole thing is like, oh, you do the side quests because they're side quests, but, like...
Right.
I always do stuff like that on my second playthrough unless it feels really important. It didn't feel really important. And now I feel like I missed out a little bit because I feel like they were, like, not presented in a good way.
Did you do the plus side quests? Did you ever do those?
I did the plus side quests because Agr0 told me... I told him, I was like, hey, I'm just going to play through the game and then go back. He said, at least do the plus side quests.
Oh, gotcha,
and then
okay.
He also said, do the last like side quest that Joshua gives you. He never gave it to me, assumedly because I missed some stuff. So
probably some other side quests that's a prerequisite. Probably with the Undying, but I don't know.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to doing it on this new playthrough. But like I said, like it just sucks. Like the first side quests are presented so poorly and just like a bunch of like dumb stuff that I didn't think I was gonna miss anything. Waiting to do it on my second playthrough and then
Mm-hmm.
But that's how it goes.
That's what you miss out on. That's your own fault.
I liked the quests in the hideaway at the first half, to be clear. It's just when we got out into the world exploring, those Martha's Rest ones were definitely the like that Choco-Bro guy, it kind of came back later, but like, that is where it started to fall off a bit.
Yeah. Go do a chore, poor man. Yeah. Slave.
Man, they really threw bearer around like it was a freaking slur.
They did not market the bearers at all.
No, they did not talk about that shit at all. No.
Wow.
At all. I don't think there was a single mention. We knew Clive had a face tattoo.
Yeah,
that was it.
Yeah, they didn't talk about... I don't think they even said the term.
Mm-mm. like maybe once in some state of play or interview or something, but like there was almost no mention of anything related to that.
Yeah.
It took so long for them to, like, for a long time I was like, someone in the hideaway mentioned to Clive in passing, like just a background NPC. Hey, if you talk to Tarja, you can get your brand removed. And I was like, oh, we should do that. That sounds great. Why don't we do that right now? And only like hours later do you learn it's not just ink, it's poison. Like, if you try to remove the brand, it's poisonous. So
in the side quest, he's like, oh, I'm so nervous, I've never done it before. If I fuck up, they're dead.
Yeah.
God.
It's like, that seems really important to just have background characters and optional, discussions to learn about this. Like, that's huge.
Yeah. But it's weird they didn't bring it up, but I guess they do talk about it a lot in the actual game, so I don't think it's gonna sell anyone in the game.
Yeah, we got fucking slavery, baby.
The slavery subplot.
Subplot? That's just the plot.
Okay, the slavery plot. I did see a clip recently that was someone talking about how they were starting to see why they did not have many people of color in this game.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't really blame them for not.
No.
In a lot of fucking trouble if they do that.
Like, cause either way, like, cause your two options are, I'm a slave, and them being the slave, or the other way, which is probably worse.
Yeah. So
I don't think there was any good situation, so I can understand it to an extent, but yeah, after we go to Martha's Rest, we go and we get our nice, cool costume.
Oh yeah, we go to East Pool after that,
From
right?
Lady Hannah.
What's her name?
Yeah,
oh, remember her
Hannah.
name? Wow.
Mm-hmm.
I did not at all.
What?
Well, she kind of was there and then died.
Yeah.
So, but she was nice.
Thought she was memorable though.
Hmm.
They all kind of have
My
that 14 NPC model kind of thing,
Yeah.
One of the first scenes I really liked was the scene of Clive and Jill in the barn.
Yeah.
That was a good one. Yeah.
The biggest bag fumble.
That was a massive bag fumble, dude. I'm telling you what, coach, you put me in there, 10 out of 10 times, I make the shot.
No, I don't believe you.
Oh,
I don't
no.
believe you.
I don't think so.
I'm not a fumbler. I'm not. You gotta give me a gray hair mommy and I'm in there like
The only one of us who is married, so you know what? Fair.
You know what?
He might be right.
As a track
Thank you.
record.
I have a supporting track record and a wife who I hope doesn't hear this.
After we get there, we get to our first big set piece being the Phoenix Gate subplot.
What do you mean? What happened?
I need to take a break.
Okay.
Okay, we're back. Phoenix Gate, guys. So the what's the
Return
first-
to Phoenix
yeah,
Gate, right?
Return to Phoenix Gate. Yeah. I feel did the Joshua reveal happen before this?
No.
'Cause
Oh, wait.
Yeah.
I think it did, right? Wasn't it when Benedicta died?
It must. Yeah, I think it was. Because that's
Yeah.
right. We had the scene of him and Yote, him being tortured or whatever, or interrogated. We'll say.
Mhm.
And Yote was there. And yeah, you're right. It was when Benedict died. That was way earlier than I remember it being.
Yeah, no, we knew about Joshua for a long time before Clive ever knows.
Mm. Which, thinking back, the pre-time skip as a whole feels like, way shorter than, it feels way shorter than I actually think it was.
Yeah, no, that 33% is 20 hours.
Mhm.
So
That's fair. And most of it's actually story. Like, there's
Yeah.
very few. There's a
Feels
couple
shorter
side
for you
quests,
because for you
but
that was one stream.
it was, yeah.
Damn.
Well, we go to Phoenix Gate and get to go into sci-fi alien land.
Yeah, that was cool.
The Lufenians.
It was cool getting to find out later, like, I didn't realize that, like, that and the tower where Barnabas is, those were made by, like, Ultima's civilization. Those were before the Fallen, even. Which kind of makes sense, because
yeah,
their
I guess
technology
so.
level does not quite reach that, like, I remember, like, seeing that area in the demo and go, like, that makes no sense that whole area was underground. With those giant towers and stuff that Ifrit and Phoenix were fighting over.
Right.
Oh, we gotta go through that. We see the Lich. I remember freaking out at that.
I was so hyped. I was like, Scythe! Let's go! I had such an easy time fighting that one-on-one because it just had like the Reaper moveset for the most part, from 14.
Yeah, I did.
Is this like, I mean, barring like Kingdom Hearts, the first like, non-14 game to have like a Scythe enemy? I know Type 0.
No.
But, no?
I don't know for sure, but I can say probably not.
Gotcha. I wasn't sure if like...
There's plenty of Liches and the Grim Reaper in general, and
I guess that's fair.
Death.
Yeah. Maybe it just stood out more because it's like an action combat.
Mm-hmm. Probably. Because action, like, actually action-wise, I can't think of any off the top of my head, but I don't know.
Don't ask me.
Square makes many, many games.
They do.
After that, we get, what is, like, I'm trying to remember exactly what happens there, because I know we get to Clive's inside his mind, but, like, do they open, like, a computer or something? I'm trying to remember.
A computer.
I forget. Yeah.
Or is it just them seeing the mural that gives them, like, the...
I think it was seeing the mural. Like, they interact with a couple different things. Like, you have to fight through those 3 enemy rooms to open the door. Like, there's that technology stuff. But I don't know if we interact with, like, a computer.
I don't remember. Well, either way, we end up in the Station of Awakening, as OJ has said before.
Yeah.
With one of the best parts of the whole game, right there. L3 plus R3 to accept the truth.
Oh, yeah.
This shit was crazy. For a while, that was my favorite part of the game.
It's still up there.
I just thought it was so fucking sick. It was just, chef's kiss. My compliments to the chef.
Wow.
It's very good. It was really good.
It was just so cinematic, and it just felt like a real big turning. I mean, it was a real big turning point for Clive, but just like literally accepting the truth. Like, I am a freak. This was me, and just like the
So
set that they fought in.
Was the person in the hood? Was that wasn't Joshua, right?
There were definitely 2 people in hoods.
There were multiple people in hoods.
And then, presumably, like, an Ultima Thrall. Because it took me a while to figure that out. Because I was like, is this just the Final Fantasy timey-wimey bullshit? Like, is that why there was a dude in a hood at Phoenix Gate the first time? Because it could definitely just be Final Fantasy timey
No, because by the time the game starts, there are at least 3 Ultimas already out there.
Yeah. But I definitely think that was just, like, one is like an Ultima Thrall or something, and the other is obviously Joshua. But we see... When we don't see the hair, I think it's usually like an Ultima Thrall.
It's
and
almost
once we
always
start
Ultima.
seeing it-
Outside of like 2 times, it's Ultima. Because
I think it's only Joshua when like it's very obvious it's Joshua.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Him being interrogated by Benedicta and that's it, probably, to be honest. Because even the scene, like, when you're going after Garuda, that is 100% Ultima.
Yeah. Why would Joshua see his brother and be like, no, I'm gonna hide. I'm gonna stay away.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
well, I know he does do that, but
but unless Joshua
he doesn't taunt him
Ultima,
about it.
Joshua is Ultima.
Well, kinda. We get to that later, though.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
But yeah, that big set piece with Ifrit versus Ifrit was so good. I remember so many years of theorizing, what's with the second Ifrit? What could it be? And then finding out, oh, it's just the inside of his mind. But no, wait, there is a second Ifrit, actually.
Very good.
Mm.
Too many.
Too few, really. There should be like at
There
least
should have been
one
16.
Ifrit for every
Wow.
single other icon.
Every icon should have been a different variant of Ifrit. So it should have been Ifrit with wings, Ifrit with big hands, Ifrit with
it's
sword.
Different Ifrit from every game.
Yo, and then Clive says, it's Ifrit time.
And then they fuse in like a Voltron fusion at the end.
He'd say
Surely
that.
that doesn't happen later.
Surely.
Surely.
No,
Surely.
but all of them.
I actually, one random gripe, I'm upset that there wasn't some big, massive fucking, like, 8-man, 9-man icon battle. Like, I wonder what the story would have looked like if it was like, oh no, all these nations are about to war, and then, like, Odin rides in, and Shiva drops in, and then Titan, like, climbs out of the ground, and Phoenix and
I think they
Bahamut fly.
had
And
the budget for that, SP?
Yeah, no, I don't think... this might have been one of the most, like, biggest games ever made. With 7 years of dev time, they did not have the budget or time
I'm
to
just
make
saying,
that.
I think it would have been cool.
I agree. That would be
Well,
really
I'm saying,
cool.
like, so, like, instead, like, I wonder what would happen, like, instead of the game we got, if the core plot was, like, there's gonna be this massive war and all the dominants are gonna show up and shit's gonna go down. Like, I just think that would have been a cool thing to see. I know I bought the collector's edition. They made enough money on the game. with my purchase, surely the development of this game over 7 years with hundreds, maybe thousands of staff members could not have cost more than $400.
I guess it is Square Enix, so knowing them, this could somehow sell 100 million copies and they'll still come out in the red. But,
We'll find out in about 18 months.
Yeah. Hey guys, we
said-
sold 10 million copies. We lost money.
We lost money.
Probably.
They've said they're only, like, the only metric they're looking at is the 18-month sales window.
Really?
Because
that's when it comes out on PC,
assumedly
presumably,
assumedly it'll come out like within that'll include at least a few months of the PC release, probably, and also just long-term sales. They don't they want to, they know people are going to be iffy about buying a $70 game
on a console that there's only 40 million.
on a console with a way lower install base.
I think they're probably expecting, like, if this game doesn't sell 70 million copies, it's a failure. Sir, there's only 40 million PS5s. Surely you don't expect 200% of people to buy the game. I sure fucking do.
I know what I said.
Did I stutter? Oh, man. Square Enix, man. Squeenix, some might say.
We get back from that, and then we have the Sid dies arc.
No!
Yeah.
Sid!
Probably a good way to say it. It's the Northreach arc. We get to, go do some
I
side
like
questing. Northreach is fun.
I pronounce it Seed. Seedolphus.
Okay.
Ugh.
Good for you, buddy.
It's Sid.
What about his daughter?
Mead. Seed and Mead.
Midoldo.
Seedolphus and Midoldo. What the fuck is wrong with us? Anyway, Sid dying. I didn't like when it was starting to happen. I was like, no, Sid. I didn't want to accept it. I really thought like we'd have him. And then that was a really touching moment. That was a really good scene. Just like that whole part.
Mm.
Yeah, that was really nice.
Yeah,
him protecting us and all that, and Clive having more guilt.
Yeah, of course, gotta have that. What's a protagonist without large amounts of guilt?
Also, I knew because I'd done a side quest, like Red Letter, I think it's called, where you get a letter from Sid's daughter, like the original Hideaway, to give.
See, I did every side quest. I don't remember that at all.
Yeah, and so I was like, oh no, he has a kid, man.
I do wish that had been a little bit more prominent, but
yeah, it was not like you were getting a bunch of supplies for the Hideaway and then just a letter for Sid, and then you learn as time goes on the letter is from his daughter. So I was like, oh no.
I wish I retained that information, but I pulled an Espy instead.
Fuck you. As I yawn. Sorry.
Yeah,
but the whole North Reach section, like taking out the first crystal, is just a good set piece in general. That dragon fight right beforehand is great. It's very rare I say, really hey, that giant dragon fight, good actually. Not
like
bad.
Even like the infiltration part, it's like, why is this here? He's like, oh, I fought Bahamut last time I tried to do this. I got my ass kicked, but I'm here, and so is this pathway now. They never fixed it.
He stood his own.
Yeah.
For a little bit, which knowing Bahamut later actually makes that way more insane.
Yeah, Bahamut is no joke.
I do wish we got to see like one more fight, like one fight with Ramu in it.
Yeah, I wish. I'm sorry, I might have like peeked. I think Ramu didn't get any cool like holy shit icon moments. Like I think he had.
He turned into Ramu one time.
Yeah, he did only turn into Ramu one time. I think he had like really good control of Ramu.
He did, yeah.
Like when you do the fight in the woods, and then you beat the spinning armadillo guy, and then oh my god, it's not dead, and he basically just fucking snaps his fingers and okay, bye.
Yeah. But he also knew the cost, so like he would always he used it pretty leniently, but he took a big toll from that. I do really like though, there was a moment earlier in the game where he's like, I don't understand why Ramu chose me as its dominant, and so many of these other dominants, they have like these bloodlines that they go through, even like, Shiva, all these other dominants, they come from these, tribes and bloodlines and whatnot, but Sid is the dominant of Ramu, right? Ramu being an icon of like wisdom. So I like to think that Ramu specifically chose Sid because his vision of the world is so far ahead of his time that he chose Sid to give his power to. He knew he would utilize it well, and so he chose Sid as his dominant.
What's really interesting about that is there's a lore thing that's basically like Sid isn't from Valisthea. Like he came from outside of Valisthea.
He came from, was it Ash?
No, I am. Oh yeah, because Ash is not Valisthea, right? Ash is separate.
No, Ash is Valisthea.
Oh, it is Valisthea. You're right.
No, okay. Yeah, because so Sid is not from Valisthea. So when I read that, I was like, okay, so like what you're saying, like where Ramu might have picked him, it kind of like it adds to that because there's no way he's in any of the bloodlines from Valisthea unless it's like, oh well, they were here and then they left and Sid found his way back. But I like your idea better.
Oh, yeah, no, you're right.
They're very like purposely unclear on like what anything like is outside or what anything is like outside of Valisthea. Like there are other places.
It's
know
just like
do they have
Japan
magic?
Exists.
Do they have?
They have katanas.
Anything?
They have katanas.
Well, outside of Valisthea is just Spira.
Wow.
Oh.
Yep,
He got it.
I
He
got
knows.
it. I figured it out.
The big brain play.
Thank you.
But yeah, unfortunately for myself and OJ, the trailer that what was the theme song trailer for the what's his name, the Japanese guy who sang the theme song at the end
Yeah,
credits.
moon gazing.
Oh,
Yeah, the moon
Kenshi
gazing
Yonezu.
song. The trailer for that unfortunately spoiled Sid dying.
What?
If you were paying,
Well, it wasn't
explicitly.
explicit. It was just
The
it
scene.
showed.
Yeah, you go.
Yeah, no, so it showed. So like that scene where Clive, Jill, and some of the other people in the hideaway, they go to the collapsed, like the old
grave.
they go to the grave with like the fucking flower,
Uh huh.
and it's like, oh, I wonder who died.
Yeah. Huh. Interesting. Wonder what everyone else is doing here.
It's every like protagonist character we know of.
I guess they're here for Kenneth.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, Kenneth, man. No,
Be.
it was the one of the fucking bastards that died at the very beginning with Clive. Yeah.
Yeah, surely Clyde feels so strongly about his relationship with them that
Bastards,
he
man.
would go back.
They're the OG crew.
Tyler, rip,
Tyler.
will be missed. But after that, we get we get the Joshua reveal. Clive finds out. We get the Ultima reveal. Our first look at our main antagonist.
Oh well, we saw Typhon first, which is just
We did see Typhon. You're
which
right. I
is
forgot about
just
Typhon.
from like Ava. It's just like, hey, what if we just took what is it?
Make
Is
sure
it
not
Adam or
to make
Eve?
sure not to spoil SB Cat on Evangelion.
Okay, well, the big NGE reference.
Mhm. There are multiple in this game.
Massive.
Actually. Have I told you, SB, about the first one?
No.
At the very beginning, when Ifrit is beating up on Phoenix, they do a exact frame by frame recreation of a few seconds
that's
of
sick.
Ava when Ava Unit 1 is hitting the first angel.
That's awesome.
It is cool. There are a couple they know this is a mecha anime. They know FF16 is secretly a mecha anime.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the fight with Typhon was great.
That was very cool.
Probably my least favorite of the icon fights though.
The Titan one, yeah, probably same, honestly. Well, like it's cool on like a first viewing, but like actually playing is like really like.
Yeah, they're still tutorializing you and stuff. And I like the Benedicta one has the set piece-ness of it. It's technically not as fun to play.
That one feels more like a real fight to me than the Titan one does.
Yeah, because you're going really slow in the Gerudo one, and they're teaching you how to do things. Whereas the Typhoon one is teaching you how to use the moveset you'll be using in all the other fights in the future. But that was it's a good fight, it's a good sequence, and
I think I get part of that fight confused with Phoenix Gate too, right? Because that's another internal fight for Clive, right?
No, you go just into the Ultima dimension or whatever.
I guess that's why I got confused. Because he just gets yoinked.
He gets yoinked into where Ultima is at, or where each of the Ultimas are at.
Right, and then it's the wave fight. Okay, right. I got it. Yeah.
Yeah, and then we have the time skip.
Time skip 5 years.
Wow, I feel like we went very far into the game very quickly.
Yeah.
A lot happens, but also at the same time, so much of the game is set up for the post time skip stuff.
I don't like the okay, we broke one crystal.
Huh.
Nothing happens
It's
for
a little
5
strange.
years.
Yeah, it's a bit strange.
And then over what really feels like the course of a couple of days. No, because there was some time later. But I don't like that it was 5 years we did nothing besides quote unquote plan.
Yeah.
He's
I
like,
guess
this
we
is our
had
chance.
to like rebuild a new hideaway if you consider that, right?
Yeah,
that
I feel
probably
like
would
you
take
could
a
have
while.
done
no,
like
that's fair.
3 years.
Yeah,
No, I mean it would have taken me like a couple days,
Okay.
but you know.
that's fair. Yeah, they didn't have you
Yeah.
though.
Yeah, well, that's true. That's fair. We have to operate under the assumption I'm not there.
Yeah, unfortunately.
I am Espy, the dominant of Bob,
Wow.
the builder. Anyway, so yeah, like that threw me for a loop. I was like, 5 years and they haven't done shit, and then they just like get back into it. But you're right, they probably have to rebuild the hideaway. You know, he's kind of falling into his role as Sid.
Yeah.
He's Sid. Clive,
Look at me.
Not,
Look at me.
Not Joshua.
I am Sid now.
Look at me. I'm the captain now. And then also, right after the time skip, Medicine Girl.
Yeah.
The
Oh,
most
man.
important character in the game, who
Medicine
surely
Girl.
has
Medicine
some
My
Girl.
sort of
favorite
importance.
character in FF16, Medicine Girl.
When she said, turns out I was the medicine all the time, I lost my shit.
Yeah. Hey man, maybe she's selling Phoenix Downs. You know, who knows?
Yo, man. Oh my god, Phoenix Downs, she's Joshua's kid. Joshua
Yup.
and Yote had a child who time traveled and was reborn as the Phoenix Dominant 2.0.
She is the protagonist of 16 too.
She might be.
Honestly, would not put
That'd
it
be
past her.
crazy. That would be crazy.
The most
Hey, she
likely,
has a name.
Unironically.
She has a name from ATL, Kihel.
Ooh.
Oh, does
So
she
we
really?
never heard it mentioned out loud
Never,
a single
Didn't
time.
know this until just
That's-
now.
But
Wow.
in the ATL, she has a name.
Yo,
Wow.
You know when we
Kihel.
heard it? At the start of the game, when Ultima, Joshua, whatever who it was, when he said something and you don't hear it, he just said,
Kihel.
"He hell is the pro tag of 16-2."
It's true if you play it in
Oh my-
reverse.
Espy forgot we actually find out what he said right there.
I do forget.
Mhm.
What,
He
what did
said,
say?
he says, "I found you."
"Oh, I found you, Key Hell, pro tag of Final Fantasy 62." Anyway, okay.
Kihel is
What's
Palthos.
name? What's the name of that town?
Which one?
Right after time skip, like the desert town.
Oh, Costness.
Cosness, yeah.
What is that? It?
Yep,
I don't know.
Costness.
I
Okay.
might be wrong, so I'm just
Yeah, because that's Victor's town. Costness.
Victor.
Okay, I will believe you.
Everybody was so mad that Clive saved them.
Yeah, they were.
They were like,
hey
"You
man,
fucking
they
asshole."
we wouldn't be getting captured if you weren't here doing this shit, bro. Leave.
Get out
Yeah,
of
that was-
here.
That was a little monka.
And then they decide, okay, well, I guess we got to go destroy some crystals.
Yeah.
You fucking,
All right.
Republican War Panther.
Yep, the Republic War Panther. Can't forget.
Mm.
That was in promotion.
It was. And there's
Got to
also
try out
like
Sid's shitty
another
staff for the
fight that
first
happens
time.
in that room. Oh yes, let's yeah, we can talk about the abilities now. So yeah, we got Sid's Ramu's abilities,
Ugh.
and
Well, not ugh to all of
Oh.
them. Ugh to circle.
yeah,
The shot lock's pretty bad, yeah.
Blind Justice is not great.
Yeah.
Again, I think
that's
you
what
know
it's
as you were
called,
saying when I was playing it of like, I'm sure someone's gonna come up with some big brains plays for it,
Like
but
I
I am not that guy.
I used it like twice and I was like, I'm like never gonna use it.
hmm
Yeah.
Like I mixed it in until I got Titan, but
It's just like
before that, nah.
I think it's only meant for groups. From what I could
very
understand.
very much.
Because it like chains
that, like-
together.
Yeah, like it's just I feel like it's supposed to be combined with like lightning rod and pile drive and such, but I don't think it really works.
I didn't like it.
But
Basically,
Lightning Rod,
Squeenix,
though.
please patch and buff Blind Justice.
sure.
Nerf Slip Rift or Rift Slip to make Agr0 sad.
No nerfing Rift Slip. You literally can't nerf Rift Slip or else the point of it existing disappears. We'll get to Rift Slip. But yeah, I think Lightning Rod is one of the best abilities in the game. Pile Drive's
Yep.
pretty good, and Blind Judgment is great.
And Judgment Bolt is the single best, like single target damage dealing,
Yeah.
like super in the game. So at least that I
Once-
used.
Once I got Lightning Rod and I was like, oh, this is great for stagger. That was it. It never left my rotation at all. I just loved it so much. It was so good.
Yeah, he had some. Ramu had some good like stagger abilities. Also, once we get to Ramu, that's when we finally get like 3 abilities. We can finally like cycle through.
Yeah.
You know,
3 sets.
It feels like we've unlocked the game. You know, it's like, oh, this is what this feels like. This is nice.
Well, I guess you could also argue like once you do the time skip, that's kind of like okay, like you're really in the game now. That's when I felt like everything started like.
Yeah, we were in the 15.9 for a while there.
Yeah. I mean, no, that's like a really good way to put it. Like, I really thought once you got to the time skip and like, okay, you have 3 icon abilities. Like, the story's really picking up. Like, everything before that felt like prologue and then prologue 2, like setting up a lot of what was gonna happen, you know, post time skip. So I just think that was like, that's when I really was like, oh shit, this game is fucking crazy. Also, Sid should not have died.
What?
He didn't.
What?
Sid is never dead. We are Sid.
Oh, OJ, you okay there, buddy? Did I spoil something for you?
What?
Yeah, I did not Sid died.
Man.
Yeah, even though you played the game like a month early.
Adolphus.
Sidolphus! Oh.
Sidolphus, Thunder God Sid. Rip.
My son there, the daddy.
But since we skipped over them, might as well talk about Phoenix and Garuda and Ifrit.
Yeah. Ifrit!
Ifrit's kind of dog shit. Oh wait, no, is it Ifrit or is it Phoenix I'm thinking about? That has the... So
Ifrit has Ignition and Will of the Wikes.
Yeah, Will of the Wikes.
Ignition, best ability.
Ignition's pretty good.
So good.
Will of the Wikes is also apparently
good.
One of, if not the best ability in the game.
I
I'm
can't
trying to
vouch for
understand
it.
how.
I can't vouch for it. It's
Yeah,
just
I can't
for stagger, but apparently, I don't know how to use it properly. But
the big brain people I follow on the YouTubes and such all go, Will of the Wikes is one of, if not the best ability.
I never used any
it.
of those abilities.
Because, like, it takes damage for you. Like, it, you know... you know what? I'm thinking that will make not getting hit much easier in a no-hit run.
Hey, I take damage for me, thank you very much.
But yeah, I remember, like, thinking immediately, like, ugh, Ignition? That seems bad. And I was like, I guess I'll try it. And immediately falling in love with it and keeping on my bar for most of the game. And then for Phoenix, Rising, like, I think, you know, most abilities are pretty basic.
I use those the most.
They're all good.
For most of the game. I use a lot of Phoenix. Just like, they're like very generic, like, crowd. Like, I thought the Heatwave slash was pretty good.
Yeah, Heatwave's probably the best ability.
I never used Heatwave. I always used, like, Rising Flames and Scarlet Cyclone and finally saved up enough for Flames of Rebirth and...
I never used any of those bottom, like, those...
Ultimates?
Yeah.
Never?
Yeah, I only...
Oh my god, bro!
I only got Giga Flare.
Mega Flare? Yeah, it's Giga Flare, right?
Yeah, Giga Flare is the only one I actually got.
Giga Flare is my favorite ability. I mean, I can't figure out how to fucking use Odin. I think I'm just bad. But Giga Flare is my... I can't believe how good Giga Flare is.
I don't have it upgraded, so it sucks.
Oh, upgrade it. Upgrade it right now, dude.
I need to do a second playthrough to get more ability points. I'm not grinding.
No, just reset. I'm sure there's something you can reset that you don't need, dude.
Honestly, I forgot resetting was a thing.
I refuse to reset my abilities even though
long.
it's completely free because I'm stubborn.
You're gonna live with the bad choices you made.
Exactly.
Okay. No, whatever, man. I respect it.
But as for the circle move, Phoenix Shift, like they're all the circle moves except Blend Justice are good. Phoenix Shift is really good. There's a couple fights I feel like they expect you to be using Phoenix Shift.
Yeah, for sure.
Like even the final boss, I remember like going through that and realizing I wish I had a way to get up to him in the air all the time, and being sad I did not. And then there is Garuda,
Probably the best.
has probably, I don't know. The Garuda's just great all around, except for Aerial Blast.
Aerial Blast is pretty dog shit. Yeah.
It'd be good if it didn't block.
Yeah, I don't
like. See.
I don't get why.
It should be transparent.
It should be transparent. Yeah, like it should just be like a white wind or something. Like.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like, I guess it looks cool. Unfortunately, it doesn't look so cool that I don't want to see anything though.
It's like I can't imagine how dog shit it must be for bosses.
Yeah, it's like, hey, I popped
yeah,
this.
you're right.
Oh, I'm blind.
Like, cause
it probably does do a bunch of hits. Like if it's probably good against a staggered enemy.
probably I guess.
No, you use it to stagger. It does 5 stagger damage. Like it's a 5-star stagger.
Oh, it does, huh?
Yeah.
You know,
So, like,
I don't know if I ever looked at those stats.
I didn't pay attention to them. I saw they were there, but
I
I was
always
not caring
like,
about
okay, what
them.
am I using for stagger?
I kind of forgot, honestly. But that is a good point, yeah.
Well, now I'm curious. Like, what's the 5-star abilities? You know,
Yeah.
Giga Flare is a 5-star damage.
Yeah, so is Aerial Blast.
Oh.
Aerial Blast and
Oh,
Diamond Dust. But Diamond
Diamond
Dust is
Dust
just
5-star
better.
stagger. Well, now I'm looking at all of them. Wow.
Well, it's just the supers have the ability to go up to 5.
Arm of Darkness is 5-star super or damage. What? And like, there's some abilities that are just 0. Actually, they're utility. They don't do anything.
Yeah, like Rift Slip.
Mhm.
Trash tier. 0 stars.
We'll get there. Oh yeah, after time skip, there's a couple side questies and stuff, and some other things. Honestly,
Where
the
they
like
gets good.
actual story, like that happens in between time skip and then going to, what is it? The fire crystal. I kind of am drawing a blank on.
Not much really happens. Like it's
Yeah.
It's really just like you back with the hideout. I think you like help Gav with something. I think or something.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Like not really anything that important.
Wait, don't you help? Isn't that you go meet like Wade and
Oh yeah, we meet Byron.
I forgot about that. You go back to Rosario.
Yeah.
No, that's way later.
No,
isn't
wait,
it?
you're right. You're right. That is later. Wait, is it?
Mhm.
It's
Yeah.
definitely later.
Yeah, I know. You
Time
go
for me
to.
to check the cutscenes, baby. Let me see.
Yeah, no, I'm remembering now because you go, like, because yeah, you go to Rosario because Hugo's invading the castle. That's the whole reason you go in the first place, which is after the fire crystal. Because yeah, that's right. You're going to the fire crystal because other people are at war and they would not think you'd be going to that crystal.
Yes,
Right.
they were that.
Yeah,
They're like,
yeah.
that's the perfect time. No, their defense will be down or something.
And Jill
Yeah.
wants her revenge.
So just for like a bit of I guess like context.
Mhm.
So when Sid dies,
Yeah.
that's like that's like close to like 6 hours of cutscenes,
Mhm.
and in total there's 17 hours of cutscenes.
Man, that's a
Damn.
man. I guess that sounds right. Thinking about
Yeah,
it,
because there's
but-
like, that's the first third of the game. There's 2/3 left. That does make sense. Yeah.
yeah.
So after we come back from like the first scene in the like time skip,
Mm-hmm.
they talk about the map. Some shit's going on there.
You're right. We do have to go there first because we can't get to the fire crystal without going to Port Isolde. We don't have a boat.
Right.
So you're right.
Oh,
We go. We meet
yeah.
Uncle Byron. Uncle Byron's like, "Holy shit, you're alive!"
You're right.
Yeah,
so
here
we
they
meet with
meet.
the
Such a good
Guardians.
scene.
Yeah,
we
yeah,
see the
yeah.
Black Shields.
Yeah, here they have the Black Shield. Yeah, then
Then the slaughter at
then you meet Wade and yeah.
There's the
Yeah.
slaughter at Old Hill. We learn about.
I forgot that was all before that.
Mhm.
Yeah. Damn, so did I. Wow, that was early.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you
I
meet
guess
Wade
I
pretty
did
early.
so many side quests like right away.
Yeah,
Like,
same.
It
It felt like it took a while after
Yeah.
that to get
Huh.
going. Well,
Keeping
yeah.
track of everything is so hard.
Well, yeah, getting Wade, seeing Wade alive was insane. Couldn't believe he was still
Yeah,
alive.
Wade survived.
Incinerated.
Wade survived.
He's there. He did it.
You meet
Wade and
fucking
then
Byron here too.
yeah,
Really,
Byron. Oh, that scene where
Really
him
great.
and Clive meet is so good.
it's a really great scene. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Me
Byron
too, because like
one
you're
of the
kind of
best
confused,
characters.
like Jill is at 1st
Mhm.
You're like, what the hell is he doing? you know. But then as
goes
time
from
goes on,
very
it
quick confusion to I'm almost crying.
Yeah.
It's so good. And like the fact that Byron kind of came out of nowhere, like they didn't really mention him before.
Well, it
Clive
makes
didn't even
sense,
seek
but
him
yeah.
out for 5 years. Or,
Well, he needs
yeah.
money now.
He doesn't need money
He
now.
needs something, so now he'll meet him.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, Uncle Byron. I require money.
Well, we meet Byron and all that, and then we get to go to the fire crystal.
Yeah, you do the fireplace snack, which is kind of like this part. This is the one part of the game that feels very disconnected to me.
Yeah, sadly.
Just like it seems like it's only there for Jill, which is like fine, but it feels like everything kind of weaves into each other except for that scene, except for that whole part.
I feel like we needed a plot in the Iron Kingdom itself.
We did, yeah, because that guy there was kind of whatever.
Yeah, the only plot was Jill. It was...
Yeah.
And even then, we understand that the Iron Kingdom is, awful to their bearers and to Jill, but, we're told that by Jill, and we see that initially in our introduction to Jill, but we only ever, fight them towards the beginning.
That's kind of...
Then they kind of disappear.
Yeah.
I think they fight... Do they initially do the damage to... what the hell's her name? Garuda's dominant.
Benedicta?
Yeah, thank you. To Benedicta that, causes her to turn into Garuda?
No, that's just some bandits.
That's a
I
random
thought
character.
those were Iron Kingdom.
Maybe they might have
Okay.
been, but, it's not really...
I think they're just bandits. They're just
Gotcha.
bandits.
Alright, they
I'm a
look to
bandit.
me like...
That's
Like
kind
the same type
of
of
the
iron.
problem, I think, with Jill is she's only really great to me when she's with another character, and when she's by herself, she just really she just kind of becomes almost sort of nothing.
Yeah, and I think a lot of characters have that issue.
A lot of them like
just-
that, yeah. Just
But it's
with
most
her-
prominent in her because she's
the
the
main-
most prominent character who has that issue.
yeah. And,
I'd say the people that are more the only characters more or as prominent as Jill are Clive, Joshua, Sid, and Dion.
yeah.
And that's it. If you
I
were to
don't
name
think
the
Dion's
5
as
main
prominent
characters,
as Jill
yeah, you're probably
or
right.
Sid.
Dion's
He's much more relevant in the last few hours. We see him
yeah.
in one cutscene before that.
Yeah.
Towards the very end of the game, he
That is
becomes
fair. I
relevant.
remember OJ was telling me the his favorite character was this one guy who we got to see in one cutscene, and then I went oh man, it's only been 20 hours since I've last seen your favorite character.
How's
Yeah.
fucking Dion doing?
Who knows?
Who knows?
So Dion is the again, I hadn't seen any promotional stuff, but there was that early on battle with Odin and Bahamut, which is very cool. And we see Dion just walk down. I'm like, oh, he's gonna be an ally. I know he's on the Empire or whatever, but
Just
look at him. He's an ally.
each scene he's in
He
is
will
so
be
good.
on our side later.
Every scene he's in is so fucking good.
Yeah, he's very good.
He's great.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah, and then we see the Hugo shit with
the
fucking
Hugo.
Annabelle.
Yeah, we can finally get reintroduced to her.
And then
get
we see the son.
Hugo.
The really weird
Oh,
son.
the kid.
Yeah.
What was his name?
Oliver.
Olivier.
Olivier. Yeah.
Olivier. Hmm.
Agr0, do you remember what I told you about Olivier and Annabella?
Yes, don't say it.
What?
Well, okay.
What happens?
We're getting there. We're getting there.
Okay.
I'm not allowed to repeat it.
What?
Why?
Why? What happened? What? Wait.
No, I mean, it's against... I don't know if it's against YouTube TOS, but it's against Twitch TOS, at least.
Wait, what?
I...
He said he hopes the thing that happens to them happens to them.
Oh,
Yes.
I see. Okay.
She does the thing that
I thought it was
happens to
a
her.
plot thing. Okay.
No.
Okay.
I was very hopeful that it would happen in front of her, and she would be so upset by what happened that it would also happen to her by her own hand.
We don't want to
Close.
get
Ended very
demonetized
close.
on
And
this
it did!
video that's not getting any monetization.
Yeah, then soon after that, they eventually go fight Hugo and Rosaria. Jill
Yeah,
gets pseudo kidnapped.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, okay, that scene... I know people don't seem to have a problem with this except me.
I don't
but,
think it's that bad. I don't think it's that bad.
I wouldn't be a problem if there was a scene where it happened, but there is nothing. It's, you beat the boss, congrats, here's the windscreen. Jill has been kidnapped. Out of the corner of your eye. She just
I
got
hated
kidnapped
that.
right
I was
behind
like,
you.
I was so upset. I was like, Jill, what the fuck? What are you doing? You're a dominant. Fight!
Like, if
you
she
just
had,
helped me kill this girl, and now you're captured. What are you doing?
Like, it's not that there was a scene where she was captured.
She's
killed
very
the girl,
competent.
And then she is captured. There is
I
no
was
in between
pissed.
of those
I was
things.
pissed at Jill. I was like, what is wrong with you? We
Like,
just
if
killed
she-
this
if
thing.
if there
What
was
the
a scene
hell?
where she fought, like where it, like if after you beat the Quirrell, it cuts to you fighting it, and then Jill is like Hugo comes in and Jill's fighting him for a second, and then she gets captured while you kill the Quirrell. That'd be one thing, but it's just boss was beat, she kidnapped.
Yeah, it was very out of the blue. Like, what the fuck just
She's
happened?
a very, competent fighter. She's dominant, and then
Yeah,
nope,
she can handle herself.
apparently not.
Yeah,
not right
I
now.
guess-
The second I saw that scene and the one later, I was like, I knew people are gonna get fucking mad. I was like, I fucking know.
That's the only one. If there was
It felt
a
like
scene
the
where
only
it
purpose
happened,
for that
I'd be
was
fine.
literally just to show, like, hey, Torgal's really cool, guys.
Yeah.
Torgal is Fenrir.
Torgal's like basic. No, not even. Torgal is upgraded Fenrir.
True.
Fenrir, the virgin dog, okay? Only Shiva powers. Torgal, the Chad dog, he has all icon powers, or a whole bunch.
I love that, that happens, and then they don't talk about it again.
No, it's really hard to even see the other, form of Torgal.
He just sometimes does it randomly.
They do it. They talk about it in a couple of side quests with him.
Yeah, so there's some side quests. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But it's not really it's just kind of there.
Yeah, him being a super dog is just he's a super dog. That's fine.
Yeah, I thought there was gonna be more. I like that they explained it, and it was like, oh, that's why him and Shiva are so close. But I really thought it'd be no, I don't know if I wanted a limit bar or something. I'm going to activate Torgal crazy mode.
Yeah, I was hoping when I used limit, he would use limit.
How cool would that have been, right?
Right.
Yeah,
Why
that'd
not?
But whatever, as they say in Rome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, Espy? What do they say?
You know what they say, man.
No, I don't.
Explain.
You know. I don't want to spoil it for them, but you know what they say.
No, I don't.
You know.
Nope.
They say, "Hi, welcome to GameStop. How can I help you?"
Wow.
They
I'm
do
here to
say
pick
that.
up my
And
copy of
that's
Final
bringing
Fantasy
back this
16.
bit.
Anyway, we're gonna move on.
Yeah, so
move on from that.
after we do that, we fight fucking Hugo for the first time.
Yeah.
Really good fight. Really good
Yeah, that's
fight.
a great fight.
Coop, he hit a really good fight for sure.
His hand,
Every
is cut
part
off.
of it.
Yeah, and then he gets taken
His
in
hands.
by Sleipnir,
Yeah.
I believe, right?
Yep, that's it.
Sleipnir, yeah, and then
Oh, yeah.
I remember at first I thought it was Dion for some reason.
yeah,
I was
you
like,
did,
wait a
yeah.
second, that doesn't make any sense. And I forgot, I mean, we hadn't seen Sleipnir since the very first scene of the game. So,
Yeah.
I'd never put that together until you said it right now. I just never clicked who saved him. I knew it was Waloed, but I don't know, maybe they mentioned it. But
no, they don't mention it, but it's him, it's his outline.
yeah, no, you're right. I see it in my memory now.
Mm-hmm. But after that, it's then just
Cutting off his hands was so cool.
yes, cutting off his hands was very.
I loved that.
Poggers.
I thought that
You were
was so.
taking away his power, literally and figuratively.
Mhm.
Well, they also took away his personality, who he was so I'm big strong man. I mean, granted, he was still kind of fighting without his hand. for a
Yeah,
bit.
he
Yeah.
still with
But-
no hands collapsed
Was-
the holy ground of Rosario.
But- I mean, and again, I'm not the best at picking up on subtlety, so I like that it was very yeah, anybody could figure out when big man who uses big hands to beat up has no hands, he does not feel like big man,
Yeah.
Feel tiny.
Yeah. Yeah. So I just thought that was cool.
It was.
Yeah.
When Clive slices through him, and you're sitting there, it's like a samurai movie, right? Where he's on the other side, and you're like,
Yeah, that
oh
was
shit,
great.
what's gonna happen? Then his hands just. I thought that was just so cool.
It was very good.
Yeah,
And then
a lot of this game can be described by "it was so cool."
Yeah, honestly, that's probably what we're gonna say a bunch, and you're gonna say it even more going forward. Because the next thing we did was, Clive goes, "I have to go kill Hugo now," and they go to he goes on a desert adventure.
Was unable to because of his stupid mythos power activating.
Mythos.
They fucking love calling him that.
Yeah.
Mythos.
What's the other name?
What name?
Logos.
Logos. Yes.
Logos.
They're all
yeah.
like, mythos, logos, ethos, pathos. They're all like Greek terms.
Mythos.
And then we have the Desert Adventures with Uncle Byron.
Oh yeah, that was pretty good. Oh, we have that scene in the fucking bar.
The scene in the
He's
bar
such a
is
shithead.
so well
Scene
shot.
in the bar is
my
really
God.
good. Scene in the bar is
Such
really
an
good.
asshole. It's so great. It's like, shut up.
And I love him like grabbing all the food and trying to stuff it in his mouth before hiding
Yes,
it in the bar.
It's like, well, we're gonna get kicked out. I'm gonna eat first.
And just the cutting back and forth between those two scenes
Yeah,
is so
Yote
good.
and
Maybe the
Joshua,
most
Joshua.
well shot scene in the whole game.
Yes, I was gonna say it was shot so well where it's like it really felt like something out of a movie where like they just missed each other but they're right there, like just fantastic cinematography. Well, is it cinematography or what is it? Like what do you call that? I mean, still right? It's like
yeah, I think it's
I
fair
don't-
to call it that.
you know what I'm
probably.
fucking saying. You know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
Even
really
like after the fact,
Storyboarding?
Clive picking up on it, and like
Mhm.
I it's also the moment when you realize as the player, like, oh, Clive hasn't told his
Byron,
uncle about
yeah.
this. Like Byron doesn't
Yep.
know Josh was alive. Which I was a little surprised about. I figured like, maybe he would have told him at some point, but I guess not.
I guess if he can't find him, and he
He
dies
was like,
in that
hey,
time.
he's alive.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, last I saw he was alive. He might be dead
5
now.
years ago.
Yeah, right.
Oh shit, I guess that's true, yeah. That was the time skip. But I still have this phoenix feather, so he's probably fine.
Oh man, the Phoenix now, man. How did that stay up for 5 years, guys?
Hey man,
it's just
Clive
that
is
cool.
a RPG player, bro. His stuff sits in that inventory. He doesn't touch it.
It's safe.
He leaves it.
Yeah, and then after we have that, and then some mediocre desert side quests.
Oh, the one that Sean hates, yeah.
Yeah,
They're fine.
Which
They're not that
they're
bad.
fine. They're just like, they're there. And then we get to go off to, we're gonna go kill Hugo for one of the best fights in the whole game.
The solo Clive
Yep.
adventure, yeah. It's pretty good.
I really
I
like
saw,
the Titan
like-
fight.
I saw someone else put in perspective of like, they very specifically put the Titan fight at the lowest stakes point in the whole game. When like, you're not even there to take out the Mother Crystal. You're there just
No,
to
he
kill
specifically
one
tells
guy.
the people
Yeah.
at the hideaway, I am not going to take out the Mother Crystal.
Uh-huh.
Like, I am just gonna go kill Hugo.
Yeah, we're just killing the one guy because he's the guy who's threatening us right now. And once we take care of him, then we'll worry about some, the main plot. And like, it's so fun. It is probably the most fun fight in the whole game.
Yeah, it's
It's the most
either
spectacle,
one or
for
two
sure.
for me.
It's the biggest spectacle.
Yeah,
Yeah. The music, the like you said, it's
Mhm.
just the spectacle of it. And it's like 5 phases. It's
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. Because there's regular Titan, then running up to Titan, then fighting Titan, running up to Titan Lost, then fighting Titan Lost Phase 2, or no, wait, no, yeah, then actually fighting Titan Lost Phase 1, then actually fighting Titan Lost Phase 2, then falling down from the sky, and then falling down and fighting Titan midair. So really 6 phases if you think about it.
It's so cool.
Somehow.
The music is like so great during it. I don't know. I think it's definitely one of the most memorable fights in the game.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
And I will say it is like I loved like Titan Phase 1 is very obvious. Like this track is very obviously like a reference and takes from the Titan's theme in Final Fantasy 14.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I was
Which
listening to it
Soken
and I
also
could.
wrote, I assume?
Yes.
Of course, yes.
Okay.
I was immediately like I could recognize Koji Fox rapping with
Yeah,
that exact voice filter anywhere. And it was just like, it was huge. It was so big. I still think about how big that was.
I mean, he was like the size of Drake's Fang, like larger than Drake's Fang, like not the crystal, like the mountain.
Yeah.
And you just being this, you know, I mean, tiny, but like, you know, tiny in the grand scale of things.
If it's still like 2 stories tall.
Yeah, but like, might as well be an ant.
I really liked how that fight, like, Titan did not look like Titan. Like, he, like, had a fucking tail all of a sudden, like, these tentacles and shit. Like, it was just so fucking, like, sick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I forget why that happened. Did he, like, eat a piece of crystal or something?
He was, like... Yeah. He
went Akashic, basically.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's right.
He ate tons and tons of crystals.
He let the ether flood into him, but could not handle the tides, according to
it was just
Sleipnir.
so fucking sick. It was just so, like, that, the spectacle of that fight was amazing.
One thing I noticed when watching someone else play through the game was like Clive's line when so first he says "heads up, Hugo," and throws the giant tentacle thing into his face, and then he does a like Inazuma kick and kicks it, and then he punches it. When he punches it, for that to like that final blow, he says something, and this game is over, which is a reference to Hugo's line when he's walking out of the room in the very first scene of the game, where he says the same thing. Yeah. He says like almost the exact same line. Obviously, Clive has no way of knowing this, but
right. Yeah, there were some moments, I think it was around that fight, where I was like, is this Final Fantasy 16 or Resident Evil 4? Because I feel like Clive is dropping some Leon Kennedy level lines.
Clive
here.
had so many one-liners. Like
he is dropping quite a few one-liners here.
They got really
not a complaint.
Stupid late, like in the cunts, and it was great. They leaned into that Devil May Cry. But
the Devil May Cry.
Well, he may.
5.
But after Titan, there's kind of just a lull of like, wow, that was great, guys, huh?
Right.
What do we do now?
It's time to recover.
What's now? Honestly, I think that's the mid quests. Is the next like main story bit? I could be wrong, but
I think you're right. Yeah. Well, no, she shows up before then because you get to
she's
tell
around,
her Hugo's
but those
dead.
are the main.
But like
quests.
then
Yeah.
you start working on the Enterprise.
Oh
yes.
no! Wait, so we see Joshua meet Dion.
Oh, you're right. That does happen then.
Oh yeah.
That happens right after.
Yeah, right after. Like Clive has the Riku darkness moment in his heart, where Ultima's there.
Yeah. And then Joshua meets Dion, and then we're cutting back and forth between helping, because we're helping Mid out with the ship, so that she'll come with us to go to Sid's grave.
Huh.
And then doing that all leads to Goots helping us get across the border, which leads to some other more not great side quests there. Again, not terrible. But
for the main quest,
you
can pick who you go with on the letting off steam quests with Mid. You get different cutscenes.
Yeah, you get the choice
pick?
of. Okay, so your
for the first
choice
one,
is,
For the first one, you're helping Blackthorn, and it's Otto and Gav. So either Otto comes with you or Gav comes.
I think we all picked Gav.
Yep.
I actually picked Otto because I was like, Gav always comes with me. I want Otto to come with me. I didn't know. I thought it'd be like combat. I didn't know. It was just gonna be its own cutscene. What was, the Gav cutscene like?
I don't remember.
He basically, you're talking to him by like the Oasis pool.
Uh-huh.
And that's all I remember. I don't remember anything about the
Nice.
conversation. I'm sorry.
No, same setting with Otto, but he very awkwardly starts to tell you, hey, he'd be like Sid would be proud, and Clive's
That's
like,
pretty much
of who? And he's like, of you dumbass. Like, I'm trying to give you a compliment here. I'll do this much.
That's actually like pretty much what Gab does. Like down to like being awkward and everything, if I remember correctly. Like
It's just like a character swap kind of deal.
yeah,
Drawing a
like
blank,
he's like,
to be honest.
yeah, it was good stuff.
Yeah, it was good. What about the 3, where
And
it's you
then-
pick between Jill and Tarja?
Every sane person picked Jill, except
I
you.
really wanted to pick Tarja, but I was like, this could be like a Final Fantasy VII bullshit thing where it's like a romance flag or whatever. I'll pick Jill, even though I want to pick Tarja. I'll pick Jill, whatever.
I watched the Tarja scene. It's like very strange.
Is it really?
Yeah. Well, like it's just like there's no like romantic thing with it. Like there's no romantic undertones.
Oh.
It's just kind of like them talking about the past, and Clive's like kind of like yeah, well, like he doesn't look comfortable in that scene with
I
her.
love it.
The scene with Jill, I remember that was great. Just like every
That
other
was
scene with
good.
Jill and Clive.
Yeah,
Like-
it was good.
It was good. And then we get across the border. Honestly, that whole section is relatively quick compared to the other like
Oh,
middle,
yeah.
like
You
between
make-
set piece section.
You make the ship with Mid here, right? I forgot about that. Yeah.
Mhm. Or at least
You-
most of it. And then she goes off on her own to finish it.
Mm.
Yeah, she goes to what's it called?
The
Where
Free
the school
Cities.
is. Yeah, the Free Cities.
Mhm.
Where she was studying.
Yeah.
Also,
Well-
she's hiding it at the Ironworks.
Yep.
Yeah.
While Jill, Clive, and Goots go to
Goots.
what is it called?
Okay, wait. Sorry. So I'm
Oh,
on the Tarja scene right now.
oh, okay.
At least wait. No, I got CPT. No, never mind. Okay, that's fine. Let me look it up because I'm like very curious now about what I.
Well, while he does that, we'll talk about the scene in
Zemeckis. Zemeckis?
Zemeckis. That
Because
sounds right.
it's right next to Zemeckis Falls.
Yeah, that's right.
so-
That's right.
I don't know if that's the name of the area or not, but it's that general area.
This fucking video. Clive in all caps goes on a date with Jill versus Tarja.
No.
Okay, so the first half is Jill. Let me skip here. Okay, so now it's time for the Tarja action here, baby. Here we go.
Taria hit romance option,
Yeah,
just
they-
like Tayativa versus Aerith.
Okay, they go buy all the food there. Then
Mm.
he buys the papo nuts. Okay, now they're at
Oh,
the
yeah.
water. Okay. wait a second. In all the years since you and that scowl of yours first appeared, you haven't invited me out once. For shame, she says.
Wow.
Tarja, really going in there. Oh.
That's
Oh,
why
yeah,
I wanted to invite her out. I was like, I never get to spend time with Tarja. She never gets to leave. Jill comes out with me every fucking mission.
Exactly.
I'm
You
with
stick
her
to what you
plenty.
know. Listen, Tarja's not trained. You take her out, and then she gets fucking stabbed. She gets stabbed by a little
She's not
goblin or
trained.
something.
Uh-huh. Then
You
what?
bring
what
out
is
your
she gonna
best
do then, Espy?
people. What is Tarja gonna do?
Uh-huh.
Heal herself.
Yeah.
No, she gets stabbed in the throat or something like real bad.
Reach bottom.
You bring out the trained professional. Jill's proven herself. She's a goddamn dog. You're telling me I'm gonna take the medic instead of a fucking dominant?
Yeah.
You're telling me
I
that?
have my dog. My dog is the only dominant I need.
Mm.
I wish Jill would be dominant with me.
Wow. Okay. But then we get to Zembrick, where we get the biggest set piece in the game, probably.
Oh wait, no, we
'Cause-
we skipped over the
Crystalline.
we skipped over
Well,
Sean's
the
favorite
password.
characters. The
Who?
when you're going with Goots to the when
Eloise and
he
Theodore?
loses.
Oh, those
yeah.
guy.
Elise and Theodore, yeah. The
They
best characters.
exist. Are they?
No,
Do
no,
they?
No, they're not.
Are they real?
Oh yeah, Joshua and fucking Dion have that talk in his place.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, oh, like I'll fucking if I don't die in the Civil War, then I'll come help you.
Yeah.
I do like that. Like, it's like, I have to put myself first.
Yeah.
But then
I
I'll
did
help
like that a lot.
Like it
Little
was kind
did he know.
Little did he know. But it was like kind of a recurring thing of multiple characters going like, this thing I'm doing is very important, but I'm a good person and will help when there's time. And like you're kind of cutting back and forth between Dion and his scenes and Clive and Jill.
Yeah.
Doing their thing.
You did the best boss in the game here.
Everyone converging on. Let's not forget probably the best set piece level, which is jumping across the rooftops.
That was very cool.
Of the city.
That was so good.
And then fighting that really cool dragon.
Yeah, it's like, oh shit, we gotta find Goots. God damn it, Goots.
Yeah, the clock tower.
Yeah.
I love that bit before the boss where it's like, oh hey, Goots is here, and you can buy items from him. Actually, you can buy whatever you want. Nothing bad's gonna happen up ahead.
Whenever that happened, I was like, oh. How much time do I have before I gotta go to bed? Like, if Goots is here, I gotta be like, I need like 2 hours open. Fight, cutscenes, oh god.
Bro, this fucking boss against Bahamut is insane. Like, I'm like watching it again.
It's
absurd.
crazy.
It's insane.
So good.
My god.
It's
like
the
this
best.
fight
It's the
crashed Agr0 PS5 like 2 times.
It did.
He told me, I was like,
that.
what?
Well,
yeah, it was so right after they combine, or no, right before they combine.
Yeah.
It's like right after you finish the phase 1, right before they fusion.
Yeah.
Immediately when it gets to the cutscene. Crash.
And then when you beat him, it crashed again.
Yes, right after the Zeta flare.
Yeah.
Literally, during the Zeta flare, basically. The animation was still going.
You mashed too hard.
Yeah.
Thankfully I cleaned out my fans, which were very, very dirty.
Yeah, they looked fucking like a fucking jungle in there.
I didn't want to like call you out, but yeah, he had some dirty fans.
Yeah, I haven't cleaned my fans since day one, and I didn't crash.
The day before the game came out, I cleaned my fans out because I've got two golden retrievers. So my house is more hair than house. So I was like, I'm not risking anything, and I knew this game was gonna do some shit.
Oh yeah, so here's the deceptively arousing scene when they cut to fucking Barnabas and Ultima in the bedroom, and Ultima's like swapping between the yeah.
From Barnabas's mom.
Yeah, which we're really getting nothing on.
That's not true. When I learned about her in the ATL.
Mm-hmm.
So when I first saw this scene, right, like it showed Benedicta, and I was like, yo, I fucking paused the game. I was like, yo, wait a second. I thought she was back. I thought she was back. I wanted it so bad. I was thinking about it. I was like, no way. How the hell is happening?
I thought he was just having hallucinations.
I was hoping, or like. I mean, like in the many things that raced through my mind immediately, I was like, okay, maybe Ultima will use her as like a form he takes, and that'll we'll get to see Ultima be Benedicta. That'll be cool. But no, it was just for half a scene.
He doesn't want Benedicta. He wants mommy.
Sad. I kind of like Barnabas just being mommy issues, and that's it. I like how just simple Barnabas is. Whereas I think Hugo is the bad kind of simple.
Yeah.
Barnabas is the good kind.
Yeah.
Yeah, Barnabas is like, his intentions are, I'm a little vessel too, but like not like actually. Like he's like, my purpose is to do this, and everything he does can just be traced back to that. Just. Why did he do that? Because of this? Like, it's super easy to follow.
Well, it can be traced back to his mom, too. Like, according to the, lore stuff, she is the one who instilled all that into Barnabas. Unfortunately, those beliefs are what killed her. She died in a raid from a rival religion.
Yeah.
But it's interesting.
You know what happens.
Those religious raids.
Been there,
not a
done
big
that.
deal.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To go back to the Bahamut fight.
Yeah.
The 40-minute multi-phase fight.
So good.
You got to play with both, and like the scene right before that. Like, I want to talk about that because that's one of my favorite scenes of, like, Clive finally gets to confront his mother after 18 years.
Probably one of the best voice line in the game.
I was gonna say him yelling the line I remember most is him yelling about how she let Joshua suffer.
Yeah, she left him to his
how
fate.
him being how could you possibly do that to him? And then my favorite line of, have you not looked out the window?
Have you not looked outside?
It's pretty funny.
He's right out there. He's right there.
Hello, the Phoenix is flying.
Crashes 2 feet away in the same building.
Yeah. Oh, hey, what's up, Mom?
There you go. And then you get the awesome scene of him putting Joshua down and then just slow walking towards Bahamut.
And the flames just erupt as he jumps off.
And jumping back and forth between Ifrit and Phoenix is great. And when you get to start using your abilities and Joshua comes in to assist you, he also does the laser shot and stuff.
Yeah, especially the first time we fought as Ifrit, I was like, this sucks. Give me back Phoenix, because you didn't have any of your normal abilities.
You didn't have any of the cool stuff. So I don't like that it took so long to get Ifrit to where it is. I was really hoping in New Game Plus, you would still have all your Ifrit abilities. You don't.
Huh, okay.
I just did the Garuda fight in New Game Plus, and you have dash. Not
the Garuda fight makes sense. I wonder if you'll have it in the next fight.
I think
Why
it's
does the
probably...
Garuda fight make sense?
Because it's completely different than every other fight in the game.
I'll let you know when I get there.
I bet it
will
be it probably is just you get each ability in each fight that you're supposed to get it in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because I just thought Ifrit plays completely differently in that fight compared to every other one in the game.
Yeah, I think that's what I was talking about, where it's I was like, give me back Phoenix. This sucks. I hate Ifrit.
But then you get to combine.
Yeah.
And form Ifrit Prime.
Ifrit Risen.
Ifrit Risen, sorry, not
Who
Prime.
needs Ifrit? Give me Ifrit Risen. I never want to touch Ifrit again.
Oh, it's so cool.
Give me my Symphogear Gurren Lagann Ifrit, please.
I'll talk to you about Symphogear after this. I watched the first episode and I made predictions. That was awful.
Oh my
god. And then you get to fly into space.
Mm-hmm.
I remember, I always go, man, wouldn't it be great if they went into space? They can fly, right? But space. And then they actually do it.
So cool.
That is still my favorite part of the whole game. It was just insane.
Yeah.
Probably. It's at least very high up there.
And getting Ifrit Risen, it felt good too. It's the abilities, just the dashes and stuff.
Somehow they made a flying combat just as good.
I think it's the X button. It's the teleport.
Yeah, the teleport really is the crux of it.
Yeah, it would suck without it.
Yeah. Then we go to the Odin arc.
Yeah. Well, yeah. There's definitely a little in between that. I like that we saved Dion. I was worried going in.
We didn't save Dion.
Yeah, Joshua
did. Saves Dion.
Joshua.
We don't give a shit about Dion.
We don't care about Dion. Yeah, we don't care.
Mean, why would he? He's never met him before.
That's not true. Yes, we have.
I mean, we got to beat him up, but
no. Clive has met him before. Clive met him at the Remembrance ceremony.
Oh, I guess they met one time. You're right.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. They met off screen.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he's not met him in 20 years, so...
True, yes.
He's just some guy who just, tried to kill him. So, I understand to an extent. But I'm trying to remember exactly how we get to the arc, because the zombies start attacking basically.
Yeah.
We
And the
go to
monsters
like
and
grab
stuff.
Yote first, right?
Mhm.
And
It's actually
then
pronounced Jote.
Joe, yeah, Joe.
Joe, my
So-
favorite character.
No, so we
Joe
go to
Mama.
we go fight Odin and go kill Sleipnir, sort of kill Sleipnir.
Oh, you're right, in the
And
free
the-
cities.
Yeah.
we ever fight Odin in the Free Cities?
It's like a cutscene fight.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
you're
Yeah.
right. We just
And
get our ass
and
kicked. It's like he
Shiva-
just toys with us.
Jill. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
Jill fights
yeah.
him and then gets kidnapped again.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one felt legit. That one I was
that
okay
one
with.
felt okay.
That
I was
was
like, this might be the second time. This one feels okay because it's like she stayed behind. The whole cutscene where Clive woke up, I'm like, where's Jill? Where's
Yeah.
Jill? Where's Jill?
Yep.
Where's Jill?
Where's she? Yeah, and then we get to go to see Mid and Byron are there.
Mhm.
We get to go on the ship. I will say,
The Enterprise.
when we got on the ship and Byron left, like, I'm gonna go get all the armies. I
Yeah.
said explicitly, I really hope he comes in like the Knights of Rohan, and he never did. It was very sad.
The
Instead,
armies were fighting each
That's
other.
resolved in a side quest.
Yeah.
That plot point has to be resolved in a side quest.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Only
You're
if you've
welcome.
done a couple other side quests.
Oh yeah, you have to do a
first.
couple side quests to actually get that one.
Then also Dion wakes up with the medicine girl saving him.
That's right.
After we've saved him, he goes off. He's like,
Mhm.
with the
Yeah.
Guts theme music playing in the background, and he goes off on his own journey of depression and sadness. Of
And then
it's like,
Medicine
I need
Girl
to see the
wakes him
destruction
up
I
to it.
caused. Yeah,
That's great. And then we have
the real main
Barnabas.
character of 16.
Then we have Barnabas cutting the opening the Red Sea.
Yeah.
Yeah, he sure did.
That shit was insane.
Man, I can't
And
believe that was in
Ironheart
a
didn't even
trailer.
notice it at all in the whole game.
Ugh.
It happened in the game and he didn't notice it.
That's what has happened. They're referencing a joke we made an hour ago that you won't
Most
know 'cause
importantly,
the context
though-
too long to explain.
Most importantly, we get the sex scene afterward.
True. Probably my favorite scene in the game.
Yeah,
It's up there. It's
was
really
really
good. It's really good.
Like, Jill has some issues on her own, but I think, like, Clive and Jill together is one of my favorite dynamics in the whole series.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
really good.
They're
Every
really
scene with
good.
them together is so good. And same with any scene with Joshua and Clive together as well.
Clive and
Like,
Joshua, I think they may be my favorite overall.
Probably. Like, they go so long, you'd think, like, it, and talking about how much they care about each other, you'd think it'd be, like, hard to live up to that. But no, every scene with them together is great.
Joshua, I think alone is kind of underrated because he's like,
Mhm.
he feel I don't know, like I really like the way he feels like an actual grown up version of himself. Like he still feels the way he's acting like feels very matured, but it's the
He's
same.
the same character.
Yeah.
feels like a
Which
sage.
is
Still
hard
feels
to
like
do over
Joshua.
that huge of a time
Yeah.
like jump.
Yeah, he feels more like a sage almost. You
A
know,
little bit,
like
yeah,
not like a class or anything, but just like a like a historical, just like wandering sage. Like he's just incredibly wise, and has all of this insight and knowledge, and that aspect of his character is definitely what came across the strongest. I think is just his general, I don't know, intellect. Even like his vocabulary, the way he speaks, all of that. I found that really interesting.
And like he's very set on the mission, specifically to save Clive.
Yeah, I do like once
And
they've
get the
reunited as like a
evil
follow
alien
up.
out of his chest as well. But other than that,
Yes, as a follow up to the sex scene thing, and we can go back to the like
yeah.
Red Sea parting thing after. But the scene with Clive and Joshua, when they're with Gav on Ash, Gav goes and scouts ahead, and Clive's like, "Hey," or Joshua says to Clive, "Hey, so Jill doesn't have her icon anymore. What's up with that?
Oh yeah.
He's like, yeah, no, she gave it to me.
And then they fight for a bit. It's a really
Well,
good
no,
scene.
it is. He just like he clocks him.
Yeah,
He's like,
it's really great.
hey, she gave it to you because she loves you. You
There's no
don't
way
need
she
to
says
do
no.
this shit on your own. Like, I'm here. We're here. She's not gonna tell you no. I will.
Yeah, he like really called him on his shit, and then and I like that Clive was just like, "You're right." Like he wasn't
yeah, of
like
course,
He
like,
didn't
he
try to
didn't-
argue it. Yeah.
he was just like, "Holy shit!" He had his moment of realization,
Yeah.
like, "Oh my gosh, I'm not alone."
Yeah.
Like he asked.
So that's a great. You're not alone.
Wow.
I'm
I'm not putting music in this one, so I'm not doing it this time. This is too long to put
Okay.
music in the background the whole time. So
Right there, it needs to be. Please.
No.
Just
I'm kidding.
download the whole
kidding.
FF16 soundtrack and play it.
that won't get this video taken down.
No, of course, surely it can't.
Surely.
Oh, Kenshi Yonezu will give his signature.
I'll reach out. I'll reach out to Soken and I'll get okay from him.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I'll
We're
make
good
sure to
friends
put
with
the
Yoshi
whole-
P here, right?
The whole soundtrack in. Yes. I stood 10 feet away from him, therefore.
Yeah.
I
that
know, my
means
best friends.
you're close friends.
That's how that works.
Do you think during that fight with Barnabas under the sea that you can
Under the
like beat him? Like,
No.
can you beat that break bar? Do you
No,
think like
no.
if you get like over leveled or in Final Fantasy mode or
It's
something?
impossible.
Do you think it's
I
ever
wonder-
possible?
It's
I
gonna
was gonna say, I
it's
wonder
gonna
if-
stop you, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no way. I doubt that they wrote in. Oh, I guess you were strong enough. No match.
Right. Yeah.
But I will try my damn fucking hardest when I get to when I get to that fight.
Mm.
I'm sure you could look up a YouTube video. What happens if you try to break Barnabas's gauge?
I'm sure it is nothing.
Well, I tried to break it.
Yeah.
I
The thing is,
just failed because I suck.
You can only, like, even if you're doing super good, you can only get, like, a quarter of the way through it.
Yeah, I guess it is just on a very tight timer. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Wasn't sure if there was a combination of abilities or something that.
No, he's cheating. Is
maybe.
what bothers me.
Yeah.
But then we get to explore Waloed
For
for a
bit.
little while,
Then we get
or
this-
as I like to call it, Mordor.
And then we get the Scala at Kylum DM there with the fucking red barrier around the city.
Oh, yeah, that's right, that's right. That's a...
I guess Ash is a very apt name for that area.
Mm.
And we get to see the pregnant lady when
Yep,
Joshua
Edda.
goes off on his
Edda?
own.
I know, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, if you replace one of the E's with an A's, it's Adia.
Okay.
What?
Oh my god.
What does that mean?
What's that mean?
He doesn't know!
No, I
He
don't.
doesn't know!
Oh,
One of the girls
Anyway,
from
continue.
Bravely Default?
No! I don't want Iron Agr doesn't know, so I don't want to say anything.
oh, okay.
Iron Agr, remove your headset momentarily.
No. Just say it. I don't care.
Well, there's a character. It's not even anything.
What
It's just,
game?
There's a character in FF8 named Adia.
Oh,
I know
he knows who that is, Espy. We did the tier list.
Oh.
Oh, that's right. Well, I was just. That's right.
I didn't know she existed like a month ago, but I know now.
Yeah, I was just being stupid. Like, oh my god, if you like, FF8 times 2, like.
What?
No,
Okay.
no, okay,
I'm sorry,
Okay,
I'm-
whatever.
Okay. We gotta explore not Mordor, and it's very straightforward.
It's very.
There's not
yeah,
much to it.
It definitely is a late game area. It's like this place is fucking empty.
It's very cage 2. Yeah, it's very cage 2. And then
and
Joshua and
then,
Clive split up like eventually.
yeah, Joshua goes and
Does the
finds
interesting
the
stuff.
mural, and we get
do
to
the boring
go.
stuff.
We get to go fight Odin. I don't know if I'd call that boring.
Probably
Wow.
my favorite fight mechanically in the game, bar none.
I'd agree. With
Absurdly well designed fight. Like it
yeah, it
felt
was really good.
like I think if there's any fight the cage like the fucking Kingdom Hearts save was on, it was this one.
Oh.
Because he has the Data Marluxia move.
He does have the Data Marluxia move. And then I also really liked his, like, I don't know what it was, I don't remember what it was called, but the two moves I really liked were his one where he sends out like a bunch of different like little things across the arena, and you got to find the right spot to stand where you won't get hit.
Oh yeah.
Which was very 14.
Why the fuck
There were
don't
a
I
lot of
remember
just
that?
14 mechanics.
Like all the bosses had very like any mechanic that
Like,
could be
he
described
was
as
a Dark Knight, and he definitely just used Salted Earth.
he did do that. Like, any
It's
like
just like a
14
grounded
mechanic that
AoE.
is like
Persistent.
run away and stand in this spot so you don't get hit. Most of those are very 14.
Ram voice, Dragon's voice.
Yeah,
the
the
chimeras.
Chimera hunt like is literally just the 14 Chimera.
Yeah.
Um,
Which is very cool, you know.
Yeah, but then also the move where Odin does, or Barnabas does the, like, where you have to get behind him in the small corner of the arena, and then he shoots out, like, a blade hit that covers the entire arena outside of that.
You have to go behind him. Yeah.
Yes.
You like almost need Phoenix Shift for that sometimes.
It's, like, you gotta be real close, or you gotta, like, perfect dodge, get close enough, and then perfect dodge it.
Yeah, I was using... At that point, I had replaced Phoenix with Shiva, so I was using my Shiva stuff for movement, and yeah, you just had to, like, dash.
And then you get...
I didn't even try Shiva.
I barely used it. I guess
I
it's a
just
good time to
replaced
talk about
Phoenix
the
with
rest of the abilities, since you get Odin then. And yeah,
Yeah.
Shiva I used for like 5 minutes and then barely touched her ever again.
I just
Yeah, me too.
replaced my Phoenix abilities with it. I was like, I'll keep my super, because I really like it. The, Rise... What is it? Hold on.
Rebirth.
Thank you,
Rebirth.
yeah.
Oh,
Flames of Rebirth. Yep,
Mhm.
thank you. You know, I'll master that, keep it, and I'll just put on Cold Snap and Rock Mesmerize and Diamond Dust.
If you hear any shots outside, it's fucking fireworks, by the way. So
Yeah.
Oh, it's funny. I'm also hearing some.
Well, I'm excited to edit this.
I don't think mine are picking up. Mine aren't picking up on my mic.
That's fine.
I
Maybe
haven't
I'm just
had
hearing
many,
OJ's.
but you'll probably hear some of
It
mine.
might be that. I will say, last time me and OJ were in call, and there might have been some fireworks going off 2 feet to his left.
yeah.
They sounded closer than fireworks that are my neighbors.
That's funny.
But yeah, the only like ability I really used from Shiva at all was Ice Age, which is probably her worst ability.
I think so. Like, I think Mesmerize is pretty good.
Mesmerize is great for like breaking Stagger Bar.
Yeah.
And mob,
And
like,
so is
groups in
Diamond
general.
Dust. Diamond Dust upgraded, it just does 50% of like Stagger Bar.
Yeah,
Damn.
yeah. Like I think I'll be putting Diamond Dust on my bar, probably. I don't know. There's a lot
Cold
of
Snap is also nice.
abilities.
The reason I like Cold Snap is, you know, I always tried to use the Phoenix Shift to like dodge through enemies. Like, just my brain has taught me circle equul dodge. It doesn't. It's R1. But I would constantly get hit because I was trying to, you know, hit circle and go through an enemy. Never worked. Until Shiva. Thanks. But if you just dash through an enemy as they're doing a big attack, they get frozen and they're stuck like that. And how long they're stuck like that is determined by how much damage the attack would have done.
It's like KH1 Stop Agr0.
So it's very good. Whoops. But yeah, I really like it.
Yeah, and just I don't know. I thought it was fine, but I'd rather have other abilities. Like
That's the
specifically
thing, yeah.
another one, Bahamut.
Bahamut's
Best-
ridiculous.
It's
Best
so
kit.
good. It's so good.
Best kit.
Like
I
I
used
don't
for a
like
long
some of
time
it,
until
but
later and replaced it with Odin.
Wings of Light requires a very specific playstyle, but if you time it right, it can be so good.
Mhm.
It just does so much damage to everyone in the area. And then
Mhm.
I very rarely used his main set of abilities, so like
Yeah,
Impulse,
I used
Flare Breath, and
I
Satellite.
used Impulse and Flare Breath a bit. Flare Breath is maybe one of the worst abilities in the game.
Probably, yeah.
It doesn't do a lot of damage or stagger, and it lasts so long.
Yeah. And
Obviously, you can
Yeah,
dodge
and
and
you're
cancel.
moving so slow.
Impulse is the
But-
one that like it sends like a couple of beams and they like find somebody, just kind of hit them a couple times, right?
Yeah, that one's pretty good.
Yeah. I use that one and then Gigaflare.
Well, the best part of Impulse is the like being able to make it go off after on everything it's attached to.
Huh?
Yeah.
Does it do that? What do you mean?
If it when it's glowing, you press the button again.
I think you're
And
thinking
then
of Satellite, right?
No, the Impulse. You send out like 4 shots, and
I'm turning on my PlayStation to look.
they keep hitting the whatever they're hitting multiple times.
Oh yeah,
Then,
yeah.
When you
okay.
press the button again, it'll
I
go
never
off
did
once they're
that a
glowing.
single time.
I think Iron Agger's
tried
making
to.
stuff up.
It was not. Honestly, I did not find many uses for it. I'm sure they exist, but I did not find any.
Oh, explosions can be triggered at any time regardless of Cloud's recovery status.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I guess
And
that makes
then-
it kind of useful.
Yeah, like the combination of Impulse and Satellite are used like in combination with Wings of Light, and that's why I used them for a little while, even though I didn't love them. Satellite specifically is really good for Wings of Light because you can keep shooting while still in that mode.
Mm-hmm.
But then on the other hand, Giga Flare, one of the best abilities in the game, just does so much damage, so many hits. It's really good for not for building stagger, but for like it's good for once they are staggered. And we can talk
I
about
found
my other.
it didn't do enough damage when staggered that it went through the stagger bar like too quickly. Like it doesn't do enough slowdown.
It basically freezes time.
Yeah, you're crazy,
Really?
dude.
Yeah,
I don't know.
it's
Yes.
maybe.
real good. And specifically,
Dude, I'm telling you, when you upgrade it, it is my favorite ability in the whole fucking game.
Yeah.
It is so good. Like,
I'll play
You'll-
through 2.
you'll
I have a lot to
stagger-
upgrade.
I'll pop Lightning Rod, and then I'll do Giga Flare. You can run through the whole fucking Giga Flare and still get like, okay, in a stagger. Okay, you can drop Lightning Rod, do all of Gouge, do all of Giga Flare, and then still pop out like Ignition and like get a good amount of ignition on it. You will like it slows down time so much when you're in Giga Flare. It's like it's got to be the most DPS like considering it slows down time.
Yeah,
And
I think all the supers slow down time, but I just
Oh, we talked about this the other day. Yeah.
I think I don't know. I didn't get a good feel for Giga Flare personally.
Mhm.
Well, upgrade it and try
That's
again.
fair. Yeah, I upgraded Wings of Light right away. I used it for a while,
Uh-huh.
but I took it off once I got Odin because I felt like I couldn't use it aggressively. Like I had to sit there and wait, and if you're fighting mobs of enemies, you're just waiting for these little goblins to like swing at you and dodge. Or if you're fighting a boss, it's a bit more doable. But I felt like I was spending too much time passive, just sitting and waiting. Whereas with Arms of Darkness with Odin, I could just swing and be building meter. And it doesn't decay like with Wings of
Yeah.
Light.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, for me, like, I love using Giga Flare as, like, so I'll use, like, once they're staggered, and I've done my Zankatsuken, I'll do Gouge, and then cancel Gouge using Rift Slip, the best ability in the game, into, I haven't gotten to use it much, but I've been testing a little, so, Gouge, once they're staggered, Gouge, into Zankatsuken, which you can cancel, or maybe cancel, sometimes not, but then Dancing Steel, cancel that into Giga Flare, and then by the time Giga Flare's, like, done the second time, you can then cancel out of it using Wrist Slip again into Zankatsuken a second time.
Do you get the full damage when you cancel out of abilities like that?
Yeah.
Huh.
As long as you
Oh.
cancel at the end of it. Like, you want to cancel...
Oh, okay.
So be clear, you want to cancel, like, at the end of the animation. It's just,
All right.
like, basically, there's that bit of time when it's done shooting, you're going back down on the ground.
Yes.
And he's getting ready again. He even does, like, a cool spin with his sword. Like, you can just cancel out of that.
Gotcha. I thought you were meaning like as you were attacking, and I was like, why would you cancel? That's the most damage. And then the only one we haven't talked about then would be Titan, right?
Oh, yeah.
I love Titan. I use Titan. I still use Titan.
Titan was there. I don't know, to me, like, I'd rather dodge.
Yeah,
And I don't want to
to
not be dodged in exchange for blocking, personally.
That's fair.
I did use wind up
I
a
rocked it
decent
a
bit,
lot,
though.
and wind up. Wind up is great. Does so much damage. I don't have wind up upgraded.
Wow.
Oh, it just extends the execution window. That's why. I hit it every time, anyways.
Mm-hmm.
And then Raging Fists was the other one I'd use because you can use it defensively. If they're swinging at you, you Raging Fists, blocks, and then you just interrupt what they're doing and do a bunch of damage.
You found the no.
I used those two abilities for a very long time.
I never used it, but I don't imagine Earth and Fury is any good.
I use it in the trials. It sucked.
Nice, cool, good to know.
It's maybe okay with like a Phoenix Shift, like air combo type deal. But in my hands, it's awful.
But then after, so we've talked about all the abilities, and we talked about Odin fight, and after Odin, I mean, we're basically at the end of the game.
I came back, sorry about that.
Oh, you're fine.
That's okay. I didn't miss you.
Wow.
I'm sorry. That was mean. That was really mean.
But yeah, after we deal with Odin, we have to go, get the last Mother Crystal, where everything will be fine, and nothing bad will happen.
Not gonna be you.
Specifically, we then fight Behemoth at the start of the level, which is one of the coolest boss fights in the game, personally. Probably my favorite Behemoth fight. Like, in general.
That was really cool, too, because the whole time I was like, wait a second, this thing can cast, like, Meteor. And then I forgot, because I've done, like, FF14 has this mode called Palace of the Dead. And Behemoth is the one where it's, like, it's the gate, basically. It's like, can you kill Behemoth at level 180 of 200 because of Ecliptic Meteor? Like, that is the move that will wipe you. So I saw that, I was like, oh shit, that's so cool.
Probably the most recurring boss enemy in the whole series.
Yeah, Behemoths are in like every game, right?
Pretty much, yeah. But that fight was great, and then you got the whole lead up. You get the gang jumping off the boat. Everyone's there, including Jill, who can use her powers.
A little bit.
Still.
Yeah, so could there's been a couple instances. Yeah,
like
Dion could still use some.
Agr0 did.
Yeah.
Did she?
Because she couldn't right away.
She couldn't use her powers, and then she turned into
primed.
Garuda. Yeah, she primed.
And lost her control.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Are they supposed to be like two separate things? I thought that was like...
the thing. It's unclear to me, because every other one of them, they either die right there, or they never use their powers again until they prime. Like, fully.
Right.
So it's very unclear. Jill uses it one time, and then there's a whole quest about how we gotta make sure Jill's Josh was worried Jill's feeling left out because she no longer is a dominant. But she is, but not. It's very complicated.
I think she might not be a dominant while still retaining some, like, embers of the power she once had.
I just wish that was explained.
It's just she's not a dominant, and therefore she cannot come on the final mission, I think is the implication there.
Well,
like, that is the idea behind that quest.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess that's fair, yeah.
It's.
I think the thing is, like, Dion did not try to give up his dominant. Like, Clive just kind of took it. Like, the scene with Jill, it looked like she gave up, like, her whole icon. Yeah, like, it wasn't a little... I know. And that should be that, like, she shouldn't be able to use her abilities. I agree. But, like, the scene of Jill losing her powers compared to everyone else, it seemed much more full with Jill. Do you know what I mean?
I guess just like
its entirety.
If it wasn't for that one time Jill used the powers, it would just be assumed that they cannot use their magic abilities now except for priming. But
I mean, she also
can
quests
use it
with us and stuff after losing her powers.
Yeah, I don't know. I wish they explained it in more detail. Just cleared it up. But and then we get to go to
Oh no. I was just say like, oh no, because Clive took your powers, you can't or can insert XY, like just like a throwaway line of like,
anything.
Hey, we know you're gonna be worried about this.
Anything. And then we have whatchamacallit, what is it? The interdimensional rift. which
Yeah.
is
I thought it was the end of the game.
no.
I was wrong. I really, that wasn't the end of the game, Agr0. I didn't figure that one out yet.
No, it actually you should.
He thought that was the end of the game, and that's where he stopped.
Yeah, I was like, oh wow, what a crazy ending.
Wow,
Wow, really? No boss fight?
cliffhanger. Wow.
Damn, what a
Yeah,
shit
it's crazy.
game.
It's crazy. The trophy didn't pop for beating the game.
That game
know.
sucked.
That's fucking awful.
My favorite aspect of the interdimensional rift was I really liked that like it was a closed in like dark area, but outside of it you could see a tinge of blue. Like you could see there's blue out there, like the actual interdimensional rift in every other game that it appears in.
Mm-hmm.
So I that was nice. It also reminded me of Memoria from FF9 in terms of aesthetic.
Oh, okay. Okay. Now that you mentioned that, yeah.
A little bit.
No, I understand.
Because that is really the final dungeon. Because you only have the final boss fight after the rift.
Yeah.
And there is that fight with Ultima there, which is very good. Probably, I think the only time I died, or one of the only times I died in the main game.
Yeah, that was a good fight.
Mm.
On the way out,
Mhm.
right? Ultima teleports himself out using whatever magic.
Yeah.
Does Torgal teleport us, or does Ultima teleport us?
Ultima does.
Ultima does.
'Cause
He's
it's
just
the same-
being a
it's the
nice,
same
cool
anim-
guy
Yes.
and sends
I
us
mean,
back to our friends.
He wants you to come to Origin. So yes.
Why didn't he send us to Origin?
Because he doesn't. I don't know.
Yeah.
I was like, wait, oh no, I got nothing. Who knows?
It looked like Torgal used it, but I was like, I think that
Maybe-
wasn't
maybe
Torgal.
he did.
Did Torgal just watch him do that and learn it?
Maybe he's also a blue mage.
Yeah. I
shit.
think he is. He's picking up the abilities of every icon he's surrounded by.
Mm.
And he's been surrounded by every goddamn icon.
But yeah, and then it's just Origin after that. The city.
Well,
the city gets
first,
destroyed
there's
again.
about a quadrillion side quests.
Yeah, there's a lot of
There
side quests.
are. Espy
And
hasn't
then-
done any of them.
There's Origin.
Wow.
Oh my god. I literally spent
Origin.
7 hours, I think, doing side quests before Origin.
That sounds right.
I was like, God damn, let me play the game.
There's
But
a lot
they
of,
were all very
they're
good.
probably the best ones. Like all the
They
ones
are.
you get after that point are the
They
best ones.
definitely are.
Specifically the ones that are about like Joshua and Jill, and then okay, so there is a final side quest that you get after meeting unknown requirements. For me, it didn't happen until I unlocked every other side quest and finished every other side quest. As soon as I finished the last side quest, it became available. For Lucian, it happened at some point earlier than that.
Yeah, I just had it in my quarters, It was like, hey, Jill isn't feeling so good. And before that it was like, hey, I'd like to talk to you about so and so. Could you come see me? And I was like, okay. I didn't know it was like this super secret thing.
Well, it's just like I don't know what the requirements are still, because I believe it was slightly different for Sean as well. Like I don't know what they are. I want to know.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I wasn't.
But
I never thought about it because it just popped for me, just like any
Mhm.
other quest.
it's weird.
And I
I'm gonna
didn't
have
do
to
them
do
in like any
research.
particular order. Like I did my side quest in like a weird order too, because I did maybe half of them and like a bunch of hunts, and then it was 3 a.m. and so then I was like, okay, I'll stop here for tonight and finish the game tomorrow. And so then I did like most of the rest of the side quests, and then the last one I did was like the Jill one. So I did that other side quest like before that,
Mm-hmm.
I had the ability, like I had accepted it before, but
I'm sure
Yeah.
someone will figure out what the requirements are at some point. But either way, it was good quest. I liked pretty much every final quest in there. A lot of sad ones, a lot of happy ones, in betweens.
Yeah.
And then we get to go to Origin, which
Orihine.
yeah, it gets to be the three brothers. Which at first I was mildly upset that Jill did not get to come.
I
think
this is a case where like I think it works best with her not there.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Like, it wouldn't have it was great that it was the three of them. And of course we have one of the best icon fights, Ifrit, Phoenix, and Bahamut on one
cool.
health bar
That was
versus
cool, yeah.
versus Ultima.
That was so crazy. I love that they fucking flew their own Bahamut.
Mhm.
Like, favorite part of the game.
Yeah.
Even above the Bahamut, Odin, Phoenix fight.
And then you
Fine, I'm
do
on it, just-
the KH2 walk after you
Yeah, that's right.
after Dion dies.
Yes,
Oh.
rest in peace, Dion.
I don't know how I feel about his death.
I feel like he went there to die.
Everyone.
Yeah, he definitely did.
Yeah,
Clive,
well, yeah,
I
he
guess,
said
didn't, but they all went prepared to die.
They all kind of assumed, I think. Well, not assumed, but like they all went in thinking that they would probably die.
They didn't assume they were coming
he said
back.
bye to Trevor, whatever his name was.
Uh-huh.
Man,
He's like, hey, go
he did-
take care of Kihel for me.
Yes, that was the resolution to the Medicine Girl plotline. Is
Yes.
Dion's NPC face boyfriend gets to go be her
Sir
dad.
Terrence, how dare you?
Terrence Boggers.
Yeah, I wish he did not have NPC face, because he really does. As I'm glad there is a there was a on screen there's no debates whatsoever. It's in there, but at the same time, okay, I guess it's a main character and that guy in the background.
It
So-
did feel very Game of Thrones in that, where it's like, ooh, this guy, and who?
Yeah, some random.
Yeah.
13 is
I
slightly
guess
vague
not
about it.
everyone is
but-
gonna be
Well,
an important
13's like-
character.
13. I don't know, 13.
13 is the most confirmed you're gonna get for a game that came out in 2010
Yeah,
in Japan,
yeah.
or pre 2010 in Japan.
Yeah.
For back then, that was as close as you could possibly you would possibly ever see to confirmation. They all but kissed. They I don't think there's any debate that they were there was a romantic relationship there or intention of one. But I guess in this one we do have they did kiss on screen, so we have that.
Yeah.
But either way,
There was a lot on screen in this, bro.
yes, there was.
My God, I was like, damn, this is Final Fantasy.
M for mature. But yes, Rip Dion, and then we get the KH walk of Joshua leaning on Clive's shoulder, leading up to the final boss room.
Yeah,
And
that was
just-
cool.
And then we get the reveal of the multiple Ultimas,
Yeah.
which
That shit was so wild.
Multimas.
Multima.
Ultimalius.
There were
Weird
a
name.
lot of names for Ultima.
Yeah.
Interdimensional Ultima, Ultima Prime, Ultimalius.
There was I liked the twist because it was a twist, but it also it was cool and interesting, but also not a big deal. It made you go, "Oh, that makes sense now," but not we kept this from you all along,
hmm
which I'd like a lot in things, but I felt like there was enough there to be able to guess it ahead of time if you were thinking about it hard enough.
Yeah.
And the cloaked figures and stuff. And then Joshua dies. Rip. Sad.
Yeah.
Definitely dead. For sure.
Well, we're about to dive into some interesting territory.
We're almost there. And then we have the final boss fight, though. which
That was
is
pretty good. It was like
maybe
the third
my
best.
favorite final boss fight in the series.
It's kind
Maybe?
of it's like
Up there. It's very high up there, at least. Only like below like Sephiroth.
I think it's like
It was like
middle
the
of the
third
road
best
for
in the
me.
game.
I don't know. Like
Yeah.
I kind of like, and I get the game like is like always like this, but like it felt a little too on the nose.
Nah, I wanted it
In
to
that-
be more on the nose.
That fight.
I don't know.
Like it was like Ultima in general. I think is kind of weak as a villain, and that
I
that
think he's
fight-
perfectly fine in terms of like
he's okay. But
he's
like,
the same trope in like half the games in the series where it's the uber god dimensional being that usually comes in out of nowhere in the last 5% of the game. But this time he was, around the whole time.
Yeah, I don't know. Like that fight just felt like. I think I was just expecting, well, I think I was just like expecting more from that fight. I guess just like it felt a little short-lived compared to like some of the other fights in the game.
Really?
To me, like
that one had like 4 phases.
did it?
It did feel.
Yeah,
I will
there's-
agree that I was expecting more like fight. I guess
Yeah.
after like Bahamut and Titan, I was like, that's it.
Like I was kind of expecting like a
I was
phase or two
expecting like
more.
a one more.
Yeah.
You know.
Like it's a good
You
fight,
have
but
you have the phase in the arena where you fought Typhoon. Then you have the next phase when he kind of blows it up. Then you have Ifrit Prime versus Ultima Prime or whatever. Then, like, you have the final phase is split into the first half, and then after he limit breaks, the second half. So yeah, it's 5 phases.
I guess. I think there should have just been something before Ultimalius that was like a step up from the last phase, if that makes sense.
Oh,
I think it would've been cool to
mob
have,
thing
like,
doesn't really feel like a phase, It's just
I think it would have been cool to have like kind of what I was talking about earlier with like I want all the icons fighting each other, but just like maybe like phantom forms of everybody like semi-primed. And, like, just a random idea, but just like I would have just liked there to have been also one more phase of kind of like, oh shit, like he is all powerful, just something cool like that.
he
I
did,
did like the
like,
words of
it
support. That was also Remnant of Fortune.
It felt like a victory lap. Like,
Ignore what I said. That was the coolest thing that ever fucking happened.
yeah,
That was very cool, and like clashing, abilities with him. He uses like the ancient name for it or whatever, and we use like whatever name we know it by.
mhm.
It was super
And what
cool.
I liked was with the words of encouragement, like let's see, Garuda.
I was really hoping we'd get a Torgal Bolt, like bark, and was very disappointed we did not. Yeah, I just want to bark, bro.
Garuda, Titan, and Odin. Obviously, Barnabas isn't gonna be like, "Hey,
Mhm.
Clive, good job,
Good luck,
buddy."
Clive.
Good-
I
you know,
believe in
do you know
what's
you.
how
wrong?
funny that would be though?
Fucking kill him.
That would be just like Benedicta, just like for no reason. It's just like
Just
you
like-
can do a
Just
Clive.
like, yeah.
You can do it. I believe in you, Clive.
It'd be so
just-
fucking
just
funny.
like-
Hugo would
I
be
had a
Hugo would be
change of heart.
lose my like I would fucking pause the game
Imagine,
if I heard
because
if I heard
after the
Hugo.
whole scene with like, Sid didn't kill her, I did. They're like, I believe in you, Sid.
Oh,
I think that's probably why we didn't get the Phantom other people come in.
Yeah, after like I said that, and then he said that, and I was like, "Oh wait, that's right." So that's what I'm
Half
saying,
of them
like,
hate
ignore
you.
what I said.
Most
I
of
kind
them hate
got,
you.
I kind of got what I want.
Yeah. Like I don't know. For me, it felt like a big victory lap. Like
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay.
I liked it. And then he says the final and the fantasy,
It's a
and then
good fight.
punches the antagonist in the face for
No, if you're gonna do
999,999
it,
damage.
say the exact line he said.
Why?
I'm looking it up right
It's-
now because it's important.
Oh, okay. The only fantasy here is yours, and we will be its final witness. Is the line?
Yeah, he said Final Fantasy.
16.
16
Wow.
of us fought you.
Wow. I will say, OJ did notice. I think it was OJ, or was it Sean? One of them noticed. When he turns into big does the big I don't know, Evangelion FF12 form. like I don't know, big symbol in the sky where all the Ultimates come together before he turns into Ultimelius. There are 16 of them. There are 16
are there
Ultimates.
really?
Yeah.
So, we are like, supposedly, Mythos is a completed vessel, right?
Mm-hmm.
We don't have Leviathan. How are we
Don't worry
completed
about
without
it.
Leviathan?
Don't worry about it.
DLC,
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
I was like, how are we completed when there's a missing icon?
So actually, like what I was thinking about is like, oh no, never mind. That doesn't make sense. I was just saying, oh well, like Leviathan's not there, but Ifrit wasn't like a known one, but it is like on the murals.
Yeah.
Ifrit is the vessel.
Ifrit. But yeah, don't worry about it. Leviathan? Nope, they don't mention Leviathan by name in the game as the lost one.
Yeah, they mention him just
as
like Leviathan the Lost.
Thank you.
Yeah.
No, they never say Leviathan the lost icon. That doesn't happen.
Nope. Well, you see what happened is you see what happened is we didn't see it, but off screen.
He doesn't have a lore entry.
Clive went and got Leviathan off screen.
Yeah, that's
we just
the DLC.
didn't see it.
That
is absolutely.
That's
Yeah,
the
but
DLC.
it's
That
only
is the
useful
DLC.
like to drink water. Yeah.
Actually,
Oh, no,
Jill
wait, Agr0,
went
wait.
and got Leviathan, and that's why she can use her powers.
Wait, Agr0, wait a second.
Yeah.
At the end of the game, right, when Clive washes up on the shore,
No.
he uses Leviathan's power
Yes!
to restore his hand and come back.
I can't wait to talk about this.
That's what happened.
And well, then we're at the end of the game.
So the ending. I've
The
read
ending,
so
which
much.
Man,
I
I've
have a doc from Sean.
don't read it.
I've read so much.
I'm not gonna read it.
It's wrong.
I have not read a single word of
So-
anyone else's
so-
opinion of the
Okay,
ending.
so Lucian, you're the perfect candidate here. What is your interpretation of the ending?
Just, supposedly magic has been erased from the world,
Okay.
and bearers branded do not exist. That being said,
Mhm.
I don't know whether or not that would apply to Valisthea or the world. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So that's where I don't know, but supposedly magic is erased. But there's the book by Joshua,
Mhm.
Final Fantasy. So I don't know if that is writings from his life or if he was then resurrected by Clive and wrote up the story of FF16 after the fact.
Mhm.
So that's
So
about what I got.
Lucian, so what's happening? There's this really big conversation about whether or not Clive actually died in the ending.
Of who? Sorry, you cut out there for a sec for me.
So people don't know if Clive died.
Oh, okay.
So
I think they're crazy. To be clear,
I'm team Clive's
here's the
alive.
thing, right?
It's crazy.
I could go either way because what's happening here is I don't have like the exact like bullet point list, but from what I understand, right, what happened, like what people think happened is if you think back to the scene at the start, like to when they're kids,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and Clive and Jill are like talking to each other in the castle at night, and they're talking about the Media,
the star.
yeah, the
Yeah.
star. So like people think, so like they say something like if you make a wish on that, I forget what the fucking phrasing is, but like
So
yeah,
Like
yeah,
that she'll prey on the star for him, right?
Sean, I'm with OJ. Like I could go either way. Sean, I'm not gonna read Sean's whole fucking thing, but he specifically says here. I'm gonna read this one part really quick. Jill looks up to Media as she always does, praying for Clive's return, and then it blinks out. They describe Media as being the messenger to the gods multiple times. Think it's fairly easy to interpret the light blinking out as her prayer for Clive's safe return finally being answered. Jill says to Clive in their last side quest that each time that things have been darkest, he's always returned to her like a rising sun, which is literally what we see happen when she stops crying at the end of the game.
yes.
So
Okay.
yeah, like so.
I'm going to say I think this is all insane because everything outside of this is you have to assume a thing happens that we don't see.
Right, but all the signs are there. She has prayed multiple times to Media.
Sure, but we don't
So what? So
see it.
here's the thing,
Is
right?
what I'm
So
trying
that's
to
the whole
say.
thing.
Here's the
They're
thing,
not
here's the thing.
explicitly saying it.
Here's the thing. I could see them I don't know. It could go either way for me, right? Because I remember when Sean and Agr0 were talking about it. One of the
This was the fist fight was for, right?
yeah.
Mhm.
One of
Okay.
the things they brought up was like how the ending feels like just from like a tone standpoint. Where like so Sean thinks it's like a really depressing ending with the way like from face value, right? Like the way the song is, the presentation, Jill and Torgal crying, like that whole thing, right?
Yeah.
Agr0, from what I recall, is the opposite.
It is like it's bittersweet, but it is on the happier end of things.
So to me, I think Agr0's insane on that one, like that one point.
I don't get any bittersweet vibes. Mine is like, we saved the world, but he's fucking dead. But I don't get any bittersweet.
It's kind of
that's
bittersweet,
the point.
I guess,
it's
but like
it's sad that Clive is dead.
It's the choice of music they play is the thing. Like it's a very distressing, like just tone and everything. But if that's the case, right? If that's the case, with that tone, I like it would be strange to me if there was like this like secret, like hidden thing where Clive actually lived.
Yeah, that's the thing of it is a like the other way around is you have to assume things that are not shown to you. You have to assume that actually the sad song is not sad. And actually it's fine. Don't worry about it. Like whereas like Clive dying on screen, which I will not budge from that. We see him take his last breath and then pass out.
So Lucian, here's where the other point comes into play, right?
Yeah.
Because if you think back and like I did, when I beat the game, I was like Agr0, like I didn't really think about it, right? But I didn't realize, and like Sean brought this up, when you use people's limbs turning to stone, right? It doesn't so like when Clive does that in the ending on the beach, and you see his hand go, that by itself is not necessarily indicative of him dying.
No, I did know that just because Sid's arm, like
see
Sid's arm, it was crystallized.
I agree with you there.
For the whole game that we saw. So I don't think he would have been like lithified just through that. I mean, unless in response to his wish, he used up so much magic that even his power as Mythos was surpassed, and he would have succumbed.
I mean, he like explicitly says it seems like this, like even this vessel was, or the power was too much for even this vessel.
He does say that. Yes.
Exactly.
And like he uses the last of his power to bring back Joshua, and it is unclear. Like, oh, did he actually do it? And then you get the post-credit scene.
Yeah, so that's why I'm like really torn on it, because I don't get why they would show him fixing the hole in Joshua's chest.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't get why they would show that if they didn't.
I thought it was just like, I don't want my brother to have a big fucking hole in his chest.
I thought that initially too, because I was like,
why does
I don't think he's alive. But then the book, I was like, okay, I guess he's alive.
I had no thought that he was trying to save him. And I was like, oh, Joshua's fucking dead. Like, Phoenix can't bring people back.
Yeah.
So I was like, Joshua's dead. He's just fixing the hole.
Phoenix can't bring people back, but God can.
He says,
he is God now. He is not Phoenix.
He says something along the lines like it can fix your body, but not your spirit, or something along that, or some other way around, or something.
Right.
So I was like, oh, like Joshua's just dead. Like, but like, damn, my brother has a big old fucking hole in his chest. I don't like that. That's what I got.
Yeah, that was my read initially too, but I guess
just doesn't.
Clive is literally God in that moment, right? Like he has the power of Ultima.
Yeah.
So if he can change the rules of the entire world, with
and like the
spell,
last thing we see, like the last of the flames coming out of his hand on the beach.
Well, and the book Final Fantasy sitting on the thing is written by Joshua.
Yeah. That's why it's like a sad ending, and then that bit at the end is going, but there was a happiness to it. There were good things that came out of it.
But on the bit of media, I have the ATL thing pulled up here because I was curious.
Mm-hmm.
And it says, the burning red star that sits beneath the moon. Folklore ascribes to media the role of message bearer to the moon. So it is common custom across Valisthea to wish upon a star that one's heartfelt desires might be conveyed to the heavens and beyond. So I think that reading of it could also be interpreted as like to the deceased and loved ones beyond, you know, like to God, yes, or to the deceased, right? And the final song is called Moon Gazing, right? So, you know, there's no more media. You're now gazing upon just the moon because media is gone, you know?
Yeah, and my interpretation of the, like, of media going out was, like, I haven't really thought this through, but in the moment, it's, like, it's Clive's wish for Jill and everyone to be okay. Like,
yeah,
I don't know.
Okay.
The reason I'm so adamant against the other ending is just you have to assume things that are not shown on screen.
I understand the reading of it. Like,
to me though, like that kind of feels like Final Fantasy to me. Like
that's fair.
Yeah.
That's like
maybe
I
seven,
totally get
but
that
I'd say
read
that's
on it. But I think I'd probably lean more towards the, you know, Clive is dead, and than the Clive is alive one. But I do see the, you know, what you're saying.
Yeah, people are very like there's a very split opinion on it. Like
Yeah.
I've read a lot of people talking about it. Like people really think it's like there's a lot of people who like think he's survived.
To me, it's like why? You're not gonna do a sequel to this game.
I mean, like that doesn't mean
Like,
they're gonna do a sequel.
yeah.
Yeah, it's okay. So should ye spoilers for Final Fantasy X too?
That too.
Spoilers for Final
Oh man,
Fantasy
Agr0's
X.
favorite ending.
Does that mean that Yuna should die because there's not going to be a 10-3?
I guess that's
Tidus came back to life.
So should Tidus have died because there's not going to be a 10-3?
Yes.
Like I just don't think that's a good argument. Like, well, there's not going to be a sequel.
Yeah.
Kill everybody.
No, I mean, like,
I just
why
think-
have an open ending? I don't think this game has a open ending. I think people are
I
imagining
think there are
things.
open endings.
I know.
To
I
allow
think it's
interpretation.
definitely up for interpretation.
Well, I know. I'm
I
saying,
feel
like, these are two contradictory things. They say they
Well,
both.
isn't that
think-
cool?
I don't see it. Like, I cannot see how people can think this. That's like. That's why I'm so adamant. No, we talked about it for
I'm
like
gonna
5
send it to
hours.
you.
No, it's fine.
I'm
We
gonna
talked
send it
about
to
it for like 5 hours. It's fine.
I'm sending it.
No,
to
I'm
you.
not
You
reading
can't
it.
stop
Please
me.
stop. Please
That's
don't
fine.
send it. I'm
I
going to
sent
delete
it.
your
I
message.
sent it.
Um,
Figured asshole.
I know.
I think it's
Record
awesome that
message.
you can
No.
come to such. I think it's awesome that you can come to such different conclusions.
I think that's why the ending's
They,
awesome.
like,
actually.
We all have the same information, and you just how you interpret something. You can like.
I
hey,
think-
Clive's totally.
yeah,
right.
I
There's
love
there's-
good
Yeah, I agree.
open endings. I don't
There's-
think this is one.
I
I think you're not giving it credit.
I don't think the notion, like, I don't think you should discredit the idea of it being one.
I am.
I would agree with OJ's
Because
take there.
there
where it's
is,
like, you know,
there
my
is,
read on it is that he's dead, but
because there is,
you know.
I'm not gonna say like why or how, but like FF8 also has a pretty open-ended kind of thing in its ending
Mm-hmm.
that like people still aren't sure about, but that's why that's part of why it's so good.
I just can't see it. I do not get why
That-
people think this.
I think it's like I think the evidence
I think the evidence is strong that like you could
like that
that you
like,
could, like yeah like
it
Sean.
depends.
I read through.
Yeah, go on.
I'm sorry. Talking to Sean and reading it through it, I'm like, wow, like there's pretty compelling evidence that this could be true. There's also compelling evidence that it's not true. There's also really good like there's a good argument that can be made on either side of how you come to it. It's not like, well, maybe Clive is alive because of this. But, like, there's there's consistent multiple things that if you look at them, you can come to the conclusion that he's alive for XYZ. But you can also come to the conclusion, well, there's no way he's alive because he did this with Joshua, and Joshua wrote the book. Like, I think that I don't think it's fair to just be like, no, I don't see how people come to that because there's pretty reasonable evidence to get to that.
I guess like I've seen all that. Like I've talked to Sean for forever about it. Of like I've seen all that evidence, and to me, I go like it doesn't have any credibility to me at all.
That's fucking crazy that you
It's
say
a little-
there's no credibility. That's insane, Agr0.
You have to make insane leaps that game and story do not support in any way.
I don't think it's insane leaps. Like what?
Oh my god!
The thing I think Aggro's having a problem with is like 16 for the most part.
I love you, Agr0.
16 for the most part is like very straightforward.
In your face. It is maybe the most straightforward this series has ever been since the NES days.
And I think this is where we differ. Like me and Espy and Sean think differently than Agr0 here. I don't think that goes against the idea of the ending not being that. Like, I don't think that goes against the idea of the ending not being in the same fashion. Like, maybe it does, I don't know. But like I don't think the game being straightforward like that, cuz like the ending is going to be written to spark like fucking
people making videos.
It's going to spark
people
conversation, you know.
about it, yeah.
Like I don't think the idea of it is like completely off the table because of that. Because clearly, like,
when they release the DLC,
if people are coming to these conclusions like this, and it's like a lot of people, my fucking mic, my god, if it's a lot of people coming to that conclusion, right? Mm-hmm. Like, there's clearly something there they could latch onto. Like, we don't know if it's right, but like, there's something there.
Well, with this kind of thing, like, there will never be confirmation one way or the other, regardless. You know,
no, you're
maybe
wrong.
hopefully not.
I got early access to the DLC.
In the Ultimania, they're gonna say it.
And no, there's gonna be some interview where someone someone's going to ask Yoshi P or one of the writers or Yoshi Fox or something. So at the end, did Clive die? And there's two options. Option one is they say, and that's the answer. And then you go, oh, it's up to interpretation. Or option B, yeah, what do you mean? Of course he died. Those are the two things that are going to be said. One of the two things that are going to be said. And that is going to be our answer. It is either supposed to be up to interpretation or just, of course he's dead.
Yeah, because they're not just going to say, no, there's no way he's... They wouldn't just say, of course he's alive.
What if it's the secret third option? What do you mean he died? Of course he lived. Obviously.
I wouldn't put it past them to say that.
Yeah.
I hope not.
Fucking Yoshi P. Yeah, no shit, he's alive.
No, we have
Yoshi
to get
from the 14 account. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, man, Clive's alive.
Oh my god, I got it.
Then tweet
Clive
from the 16 account. Nah, man, he's dead.
I can't wait.
The ether, he gets absorbed into the ether and he ends up in Quadratum.
I can't wait until like he comes to Opera fucking Omnia.
Oh,
and then we get the confirmation from Opera Omnia if he's alive.
Meh.
Is Opera Omnia I guess it's not canon, but like
I don't know.
But like when they say shit in Opera Omnia, it's like, oh, okay, so this character actually did insert.
Outside of 1 and Stranger of Paradise. No, they don't the canon does not matter. The canon does matter to 1 and Stranger of Paradise. Yes.
How does it matter for Stranger of Paradise?
The last DLC is a sequel, has a sequel hook that leads into Opera Omnia.
What? I didn't fucking finish Stranger of Paradise.
I just watched it. It literally has a cliffhanger of what's going to happen next, and the answer is go play Opera Omnia because it's the same developer and same writers and everything. So
we are almost at 3 hours.
We are. Yeah. I would like to end this by saying I have never wanted a Final Fantasy to get a sequel less.
I agree. I
don't think it's a sequel. I don't see it.
I don't think it's going to get a sequel. I think Square will put a gun to Creative Business Unit 3's head and say, "You motherfuckers are making another game."
Yeah, absolutely. Probably an original IP, if I had to guess.
Probably.
I would like an original IP. I hope they don't do DLC. I don't think there's anything to add.
We're gonna get a DLC.
Yeah.
But what do they do with DLC?
Leviathan.
There's not like an.
Portal.
You're gonna go. You're gonna go.
Portal.
You're gonna go off to the Iron
No,
Kingdom.
you're gonna play as
and-
the fucking medicine girl's like son or something.
Yeah, send me to
But-
Japan.
okay, here
send
we
me
go,
to
here we go.
Japan.
How do they?
We need-
If they're gonna do something with Leviathan, it has to be canon, right? I mean, I guess
Yeah.
it could be like, hey, this is what would happen if it wasn't Leviathan. Or if
Yeah,
Leviathan
I guess
wasn't
before
canon.
they fell, right?
But-
The other crystals before the fall.
But like as Clive, or do you play as somebody
no, you
else?
play
Like
someone
what-
else. Yeah.
No, you play as Clive. You'll play it.
Before they fall.
That's
No, you'll play
doesn't
as
make sense.
You'll play as Clive. It'll take place during the game. You'll go off to somewhere, probably the Iron Kingdom, if I had to guess. And
Okay.
you'll have some fun Leviathan adventures, and then you'll come back going, "Wow, I can't wait to go to Origin with my brand new Leviathan power."
and then you think you just get to redo the last fight with Leviathan?
Yeah. They'll add
that's
a
stupid.
like extra attack for Leviathan in the final phase.
There's like we're talking about one continent on a world here too. Like it's already confirmed that there are other continents. Sid came from one.
Hmm.
You
Well,
know,
I
we
don't
get a
think,
whetstone from a different continent to create our sword. Like
I guess they
you
could
know.
go to another continent, but I doubt it. Like,
yeah, I'm very curious whether or not Clive erased magic on those continents too. I would assume so because I know that there
Probably.
are bearers on those other continents. But
Where
honestly,
Sid's
I
from.
hope we never find out. Well, here's the ideal DLC is just add super bosses. There you go.
That's
Did
it, right?
Boom.
Just like extra trials or something.
Yeah,
Whoa,
we need
look! I
the-
found
like,
Leviathan
in
in a
the-
cave.
The remind.
Whoa.
Whoa, I got it. In the 5-year time skip. Whoa, Clive, look at this ancient fallen ruin. Don't touch that.
Medicine Girl awakens to become Leviathan's
Yes.
dominant,
Lo-
and we
And then
have
you have to
kill
fight her. You have to fight a trial.
That's
Yeah.
what I thought for a long time.
We have to murder a child.
Yeah, we have to go through Sir Terrence, and then
Oh, yep. mhm.
No.
you know,
Oh,
we
Lord.
killed
That's
Dion's boyfriend
We play as Terrence, obviously, protecting Medicine Girl.
Dion.
from
Yeah, I want
You
an
know, they
RTS
can. Oh my
strategy
god, I
game.
can actually see them doing that.
RTS.
from the demon Mutos.
Okay,
Okay,
we're wrapping up.
we are.
Final rankings of the game.
You're right. We do have to rank things, don't we? We'll re-rank them when we eventually get back around to it. But
Well, I meant just number out of 10.
but no, we got to rank them, SB.
Well, this is like an off
We'll
episode. I don't
re-rank
think-
them when we get to it in 10 years.
Okay,
let's just
16 is at
rank
the
it
top of the
now.
list. 16 is at the top of the list.
Is it?
Right? It's better than 1, 2, 3.
What about the other games we played?
What else have we played?
Mystic
Mystic
Quest
Quest?
and War for Eos?
Okay, it's at the top of the list. I said what I said.
It's at
War
the
for Eos-
bottom currently.
Yeah, it's bad.
Okay,
No,
16 number
16 is
one.
at-
Protagonists. John, Final
Number
Fantasy, Furion, and Onion Knight. I wonder
Nope.
which one.
Clive.
Clive.
number one.
Okay, Clive's number one. Antagonist.
Onion Knight's pretty good.
Better.
Ultima, I think.
Our current Garland, Emperor and Leon, and Cloud of Darkness.
Leon.
I still think Ultima.
Leon's pretty good.
Yeah,
We put him
Ultima's
in.
number one currently.
Yeah.
And then for Sid ranking, well, I think
Number
this is
one.
the number one and we'll never be
Which
top.
Sid?
Well,
yeah.
Kakadama, which
No.
Sid?
The
Which
first, the
Sid?
second, or the third?
Which Sid? Which Sid?
There's a line where Mid said that she wants to give Sid's name to Jill if we die. She's like, screw it, I'm not giving it to Gav.
Do it.
Giving that shit to Jill.
If we're talking real Sid, number one, right? Easy.
It's the
If we're
it's the
talking
thing,
Clive
the thing is
Sid?
the answer is the same no matter what.
If we're talking
Yeah,
Clive
it's true.
Sid bottom tier.
Clive's still the best one. Jill would still be the best one. Regular Sid would still be the best one.
Yeah.
Gav?
Still
Yes.
be the best one.
Like, I mean, there's some good Sids, but the only other Sid to be a real character, like main character, is 7. And he's the worst character in that game, probably. Main
Yeah.
character in that game, probably.
Yeah.
Oh god, he's awful.
Second worst main character in that game, Kate Sith, exists.
Yeah,
I think
it's
Kate's
actually
worth.
pronounced
I
Kaichi.
think Kate's
It's
worth.
actually pronounced Kate She.
It's very low bar. I think Kate's is worth. But
Remember how Kate Sith has a Scottish accent?
that's
Yeah.
gonna be wild in fucking Rebirth.
Just like Barnabas.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Like Barnabas.
true.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kate Sith is from Alud.
So, where can people find
Yo.
you, Orpheus Joshua?
Find me on Twitter if it's still alive.
True.
Yeah, I think it's back. I think it's back now.
It's coming back. Like they're like slowly restoring
They're
limit.
patching it.
Yeah, they're patching Twitter. You can find me at Orpheus Joshua on Twitter. You can find me at Noisy Pixel, where I write about video games and manga and fucking weird shit. And if Kingdom Hearts is ever back in some way, shape, or form on KH13, maybe.
And Lucian, where can they find you? If you want to be found.
You can find my inactive, for the most part, Twitter account at Lucian_Graves on Twitter. Maybe I'll tweet.
Maybe. Espy.
You can find me right here at the Choco-Bros, baby.
Me too. Also,
That's it.
youtube.com/keepingagro, where I do a Capcom podcast with most of these people sometimes, and Evangelion podcast with Espy. This has been a really good Final Fantasy 16 spoiler cast. In like 5 years, we will in fact do another like 10 podcasts about this game with Swirls.
Yeah.
And maybe if there's a DLC or a sequel or a Opera
No
Omnia
sequel, no
episode
DLC.
about this game, who knows?
What is the expectancy on how much it will drop after recency bias? Do you guys think that you guys will rate it lower in 5 years after, like, it's over?
I mean, the thing is, there will be at least one new 7 game, probably 2. So
It'll be Iron Aggro's favorite game.
I imagine
That's
it'll
fair.
still. I imagine this game will still be in the top 5 in 5 years.
Yeah, it's
I
really
think so
good.
too. I think this is the type of game that will stand the test of time.
The only game that will knock this off the top 5 for me is World of Final Fantasy: A Mog of Light.
Oh my god!
It's coming.
We're ending the podcast.
It's coming.
Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye.
Bye.